everyone, welcome back to the Keep Watching podcast, where we decide what to watch so you don't have to. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James.
And today, we're going to be talking about episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Transit Love 3. James, how are you vibing on Transit Love this week? Is it a cranky week? Is it a happy week? Or what do the people expect?
I think this is the most excited I've been to talk about Transit Love in a long time. I think.
Oh, dang.
I think it is. It's not a high bar.
Exciting.
But I think it is.
All right.
We'd have to go back to like early days of season 2, probably. Because we're in the early days of season 3, baby. Let's go.
Makes sense.
No, I think some fun stuff happened this episode. Like, there's still stuff I'm going to complain about when we get to it, but I think the dates were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting based on things we've said about other shows recently, but we can get into that when we talk about the dates. But yeah, I'm ready to talk about it. How about you?
Nice. Yeah, I had a good time. I'm enjoying it. It's good.
You're like in on this show.
I mean,
I'm still out here
in.
Like I'm very, very traumatized and skeptical, but I'm working my way through it emotionally.
I am in on some particular storylines and just watching for things to go poorly because I'm a little concerned. But
okay.
You know, I'm invested.
Okay, so you're like worried like I am, but you're not as quick to judge.
I am trying to be open,
I'm like, I'd rather
positive
just
about things.
Be really negative and be surprised that it's good later.
Okay.
Than like get my hopes up and then be like, they fooled me twice on this show. Shame on me.
I have opened myself up to get hurt, but that's what dating shows are all about, right?
Shame on you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk about some comments real fast?
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't the only one who thought Hyewan was confusing in the first 3 episodes. AH threw me a bone and agreed with me. So
nice.
Yeah. I'm not totally the only person out. I'm not on an island by myself on some of these things, even though it seemed like it, or I expected to be, even talking through it with you on the last podcast.
Well, in the spirit of using listener comments to validate our own feelings, AH said that they also cried like a baby at the end of episode 3.
Yeah, but I think that's the majority.
Made me feel better.
We knew that was the majority of people, probably.
It's still nice to hear, especially when I'm here listening to you like robot dodge some big feelings that while I'm just in a pool of my own tears. And Interregnum was also like agreed that their story is great because based on how they talk about each other, they're obviously still in love, but that's not the only thing that makes a relationship work, and it sucks. So the listeners are going through it with me. So that's how I can be open and wait to get hurt by this show again. Because I know they're here with me.
Yeah, I feel like when I was listening back, or maybe it was more just in my head than anything else, but like I was listening back when I was editing the podcast, and I felt like it might have seemed like I was like trying to say they shouldn't be crying, whereas like more of it was just trying to explain why I didn't find it cry-worthy for myself. Yeah. Like I get their emotions. I understand. I understand where they're coming from. It's just like it wasn't enough for me. It
wasn't resonating with you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like it's a unique situation, but it wasn't unique. It was unique about like the whole idol thing and all that, and all the things. Can we want to talk about this? When I thought about it more, when I thought about it more, I just made me more mad. Like the more I thought about how stupid it is, that they have to like. I can't even think of another occupation where it's like, hey, either you don't date anybody or you're fired.
Honestly. It is the situation is kind of weird. There's this like faux boyfriend girlfriend vibe that you're supposed to get from following an idol group or something. Like it's designed to fill that sort of parasocial hole or something. But it's like taken to extremes in that like the reason like companies get all weird about this is because like there are a lot of fans who will buy a fuck ton of albums to like get a chance to get a ticket to like a meet and greet and stuff, and like a lot of like, I won't say the Venn diagram of people who do that and people who will overreact to their idols actually being in a relationship is a circle. That's not entirely true. But like a lot of those folks, like once that illusion of availability is gone, like stop buying all those albums, and that's why studios get all weird about it, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it every agency like that, or is it just like, is it common but not? They're all like that, or like there's
It
got to be
is.
agencies out there that aren't total shitbags about it.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there has to be.
the majority like is like, and it's been changing over time. Like definitely, um, in the recent year or so, like rumors will come out about this idol is dating that idol or whatever, and the companies will just be like, I don't know, it's not our business to know these things. That's their personal lives, and that's great, but it's not widespread that that's the response. You know, it's getting better, but there's still a weird stigma around it.
There are so many industries that could use the same logic and they don't. Like actors and actresses, you know.
Hmm.
Pro wrestling, which I watch, is like, yeah, like there's some enjoyment watching somebody that you're attracted to, right?
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
in all those industries, they don't like hide the fact that they have relationships outside the thing. And it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of their attractiveness. Like this,
Well,
there's
I
like,
don't
that's
think it's
insane to
a
me.
I don't think it's completely universal that that doesn't happen. I think it doesn't happen in necessarily always a visible way. Like it's not necessarily a company or industry policy, but like I mean, you'll get girls who are Twitch streamers, and then like the moment they mention a boyfriend or whatever, like their following drops off. Like it's not unique to
Yeah,
K-pop.
yeah.
It's
But
just
it's different than
more widely talked about in
like
K-pop.
if you're, yeah, it's like if you're like trying to be an up and coming like content creator and like this is going to help you out personally and it's a personal decision that you make to do it.
Hmm.
But this situation is like, yeah, they're in a relationship and they're like like as soon as anybody finds out about it, it's like either you stop or you're fired. It's like
Yeah.
that's not, it's not their choice, you know.
Hmm.
And it's like it really just speaks to like the fact that like they don't even give a shit about your talent level, right? Because it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter how talented you are, like if you don't meet this one criteria, you're not worth it to us. And it's
Well, I would
like
say
in
that
other
the
industries it's like your talent should be able like you should be
I
wanting
mean,
as an agent or agency like to have the most talented people and be
I
pushing
wouldn't
them
say
forward.
that's always true. Like maybe at the beginning, but like once someone has proven like that like they have a certain level of popularity, like a company's not going to drop them over that necessarily, you know? But like starting out is really, a rough time where like their exact
It's
situation,
also insulting to the
was when they were
fans because
starting
they're
out.
literally like saying like, "Hey, you like we feast off your delusion, basically." Yeah, it's just gross at every level. Honestly, the more you think about it, which is why I just got angry, but it didn't make me cry.
Okay. Well, it made me sad. Cried all over the place.
But you're not even like sad about the K-pop side of it. You're just like their
I'm just
specific like
I am
relationship.
sad
You're
about
sad
their
about.
specific relationship. I don't like the K-pop situation, but I am also used to it by now, because I
Yeah, it seems
listen to enough
very
K-pop
normalized in like a
yeah, yeah,
very gross way. But yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess my overall take was like I feel like, and I mean, the show is doing this, but I feel like it's like you're like romanticizing their situation as if like, oh, the fact that their relationship was secret was their only issue, which is, I'm just like kind of assuming that was not the case, which is probably the biggest
Well,
difference
yeah.
between
But that's
why
like
I'm not.
the only issue that we, have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
provided to us. So,
yeah,
we're working
that's
on
true.
limited information here.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but yeah. All right, all right. We got another comment from Moo the Lion, which
Hmm.
everybody left, long comments. You know what? One thing I enjoy, that people leave long comments, and I could tell they're very excited about the show, despite
Yeah.
me not being excited about it. But it does make me more excited the more people are excited about something. So keep it
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Moo the Lion left a long comment, but it brought up a point that I want to talk about,
Uh-huh.
which I think applies
Okay.
to the episode we're going to talk about. Something that happens in the episode. So we've talked in between Transit Love 2 and the start of this season, we've talked over and over again about the immoralness or whatever of being the person that invites your ex on the show, but then not being interested in your ex, like getting back
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
right? Okay, we've talked about that endlessly when it comes
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
show. But Moving the Line brings up the other way is also potentially maybe not morally good either, where if your ex invites you on the show and you say yes, is that itself like a promise to your ex that you are also open to getting back together with them? And I have never thought about it that way before. Do we
That
want to
is an
discuss
interesting thought to.
what we think about that?
Well, from what I've gleaned, what I understand the process is one person comes in and goes, "Hey, I want to be on the show. Here is the ex I want to be on the show with," and then like production contacts that person and invites them to be on the show, and then they don't actually get to talk to each other until that intro meeting we see before they move into the house, right?
Oh, I never thought
So
about it like that, but I mean,
because somebody in their like
I guess
intro
for some
meeting
people
this
it's probably
season
like that.
said
Yeah.
like, what did you think when they called you or something, like as in when you got invited on the show by production because I was not allowed to contact you.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that way. Like some people are probably like that. You think every single ex
I think
relationship on
that's
the
the
show is
process
that
of,
way?
I mean, now if people are still in contact with their exes and are friends and or whatever, then yeah, maybe they just directly talk to them before they go, sign up or whatever. But I think there's a possible avenue where you're talking to a third party person and not actually the ex, and so it's hard to like understand where the ex is coming from. Like it is like, I get what you're saying, like absolutely, like inviting somebody on this show does feel like a, hey, I'm trying to get back with you, and on a certain level agreeing to be on the show does feel like a, hey, I'm open to that too, but like it is kind of disjointed in a weird way. And as with most things, communication is key to relationships. So I feel like that's really like that pre-meeting. They should be as honest as they can be before the show so they know what to expect going into the house, which seems a little late for the whole
At that
process,
point you're already in the
but
show, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't I mean, in general I'm very much like on the side of people that don't want to get back together, so I feel like I'm coming at this biased, but like I do see why you could say both sides are not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's some. I guess if I guess I don't really have a problem with it as somebody looking at this, like, oh, this is my chance to be on a dating show and meet attractive people that maybe will be interested in me
Yeah.
too. It is a little bit of like, no matter if you're invited or you're doing the inviting, one side of the relationship's gonna be hurt. You would think if
Yeah.
they don't get back together, and if you're not on that side, then that means the other person's gonna get hurt. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, if it was a really bad breakup, maybe you don't care, you know? Like,
I guess that's true.
I think we can agree it's not as bad though as being the person that invites the person and then you're not interested in them. I think that's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting point.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Aaron Marink on Spotify left us a comment in the last week saying that they liked our Devil's Plan coverage and wants us to do more. That was a long time ago.
Nice. Yeah.
Should we do more
that was a while
Devil's
ago.
Plan eventually? I mean, we both watched the whole show.
Yeah.
I mean, Devil's
there
Plan
another
season 2.
coming, maybe?
I mean, I don't know when, but I think there is a Devil's Plan season 2. But I don't know. There's something to think about. I mean, we have like
I enjoyed that
4
show.
or 5 more weeks of this ish, and then
Who knows what comes
something
next.
else to do. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Do you want the Deal or No Deal Island update?
Oh yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah, I don't think we had the podcast about it, but I enjoyed it. And it's like,
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna give you the rundown of Deal or No Deal Island.
Yes, please.
People can skip ahead if they're bored
fascinates
of this. Yeah, so they're on the Banker's private island from the original Deal or No Deal, and like, the first challenge is, I assume like all the challenges are like, you got to get a briefcase, like go get the briefcases that are gonna be like used in the Deal or No Deal at the end of the episode. But like, if you get the lowest briefcase, then you're in like the bottom 2, and then whoever wins the challenge gets to choose the person that has to face the person in Deal or No Deal, or face the banker in Deal or No Deal. Then you play the banker in Deal or No Deal, and you're like winning money that will get added to like the final briefcase. Now I don't know how the end of the show works. I feel like the final there's just gonna be like one briefcase at the end of the show with one person left, and then they're gonna play Deal or No Deal, and that one briefcase is gonna have like $25 million in it or something.
Okay.
So like you can like theoretically you could win $200 million in the show, but it's like mathematically very unlikely.
Unlikely.
And
Yeah.
like maybe like the person, if like the person makes a bad deal and they're the last person to show, like maybe they just win $1. Like I don't know. Like if they don't take the deal and they go to the end, their briefcase could just like have $1 in it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it's interesting because so like the people that don't perform well on the challenge, they end up having to like go face the banker. And the twist is like if you don't make a good deal, like the banker makes you an offer and you take it, but then your case was like higher than the offer, you're like eliminated from the show.
Oh.
Like the money still might go into the prize case at the end, but you're like off the show. But if you make a good deal and you like get more money than the offer,
right.
if you make a good deal, then you get to pick the person that goes home as long as they didn't win the challenge. The person that won the challenge has like immunity. So it's really interesting where like it gives like it's not good to be bad at challenges, but like it gives power to the people that are bad at challenges. Where like you kind of have to align yourself with people that are bad at challenges because they're the ones that are basically just deciding the fate of everybody else in the game. It's kind of interesting.
Interesting mix.
The deal or no deal aspect of it, though, in terms of like getting a good deal or not getting a good deal, is very just like coin flippy. So if strategically, there's like small edges you can make, which we don't have to get into, but like it's largely just like a series of coin flips where somebody's going to win a bunch of money at the end. Like it's pretty much no skill whatsoever.
Okay.
You could just win millions of dollars on this show and just by winning coin flips. But there is like a social aspect to it that you can play. So yeah, it was an experience. It was an experience. I had a good time. Boston Rob's on it from Survivor. I think I'll be very interested in the show as long as Boston Rob is still on the show. And he makes it through episode 1. So let's go.
Okay. All right.
And then another reason why I'm in a good mood is because Survivor is back this week. Survivor 46.
Oh,
Sarah.
Dang.
All right. You didn't watch last season, right?
No,
Let me get you to watch this season. Ready?
Okay.
All right. There's a woman D&D nerd on this season.
Oh. Okay.
All right. You say you're in?
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm intrigued.
There was a guy D&D nerd like a couple seasons ago that you watched, I think, but I can't recall like a woman D&D nerd on Survivor.
Nice.
There's also somebody named Q, like just the letter Q.
That's fun.
And there's somebody named Gem. And there's also somebody named Soda.
Ooh.
So that's fun.
That's some fun names. I like it.
Great premiere, 2-hour premiere. Still 90-minute great 90-minute episodes for Survivor. Wow, okay, Survivor 46. Let's go. And then Amazing Race 36 starts on March 13th.
Oh dang.
For people that watch Amazing Race. So a lot of fun stuff coming up in this like
a lot of stuff happening, yeah.
What is this? The late winter spring premiere schedule?
Yeah, sure.
All right. And then this one snuck up on me. I haven't watched it yet, but Avatar: The Last Airbender live action is available on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now. Have you watched it yet?
I have not. I was in Netflix, and it was the thing that was first pops up when I went in, and it played a little bit of a scene, and I went, I don't know that I want to watch this.
Oh, really? Just like
know.
The first few seconds, you weren't that excited?
Yeah, it just I don't know. Like I didn't love Avatar when I tried to watch it the first time. Eventually I came back around and I really liked the second not season, but the story with Korra.
Legend of Korra,
Yeah. And then I came back and I watched the first one and I went all the way through it and I enjoyed it. But I don't know, there's something about the acting and like Aang was flying around. Like, I don't know. It doesn't even have a little like glider situation. It just looked
I don't know. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched the live action yet.
Well, yeah, the live action, he does not have a little glider situation. He's just like up in the air, and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay.
Normally, I'm not that picky about those sorts of things, and it was just a scene in the beginning in the snowy village land, and not a lot was going on. But I don't know. It felt bad for a moment, and I'll have to watch another. I'll get some reviews, and we'll see before I dig into that one. I don't know.
I thought I saw something saying that people liked it, like the One Piece live action. One Piece live action was really good, I thought. So
yeah, I never got around to watching that because we talked about maybe doing it for the podcast.
After
and I kept putting it off.
After Transit Love 3, maybe we go back. Get you to watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have. Would you? Do we want to talk about Transit Love now?
Ooh, one last thing though, Abbott Elementary's back, and I love
Oh,
that show. So there we go.
I've been watching that. Yeah. No, the sitcom I think I like even more is Not Dead Yet.
Oh, that's also very good. Yeah,
it comes on ABC like right afterwards, so they're both on Hulu. That one,
Yeah.
that I laughed so much watching Not Dead Yet.
That's pretty
It's
good.
one of the funniest shows on TV right now, I think. All right, now where we
Yeah,
go?
let's get into this actual show we're talking about.
All right. People already know they can skip ahead if they want to.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
They know the deal. Okay. Transit Love 3. Where did we leave off in episode 3? Where are we at here?
Okay, so the women had to pick pictures for what dates they were going to go on.
Yeah, okay.
And then they had to visit the talking room to chat, to text with the ex of the person they're going on a date with.
I believe that was the X chat room. But yeah. Okay.
Yes, sure.
The talking room is what we're going to talk about.
Oh, right.
Okay. We don't want to get our rooms confused.
Not to be confused with last season's X room, which was the room full of sad memories.
So
Get it
straight,
I'm just
Sarah. It's the X chat
room,
confused. The talking room, and the X room, all different things.
And then that random phone booth on the street. Yeah.
And then this season, it's the group talking room. So don't get it confused with last season's non-group talking room. They're all different rooms. They're all
many rooms.
The lore of the show is very important. You don't want to get confused. We don't want to confuse
Crazy
the
building
listeners.
full of rooms.
The listeners might get confused if we don't. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, everybody came back sad from that, I think, is where we left off.
Well, the women did. The guys weren't.
Well, yeah, the guys were just chilling.
Yeah, why didn't the guys have to do the X chat room? That was weird. Everybody did the chat room.
I think they will next time.
Oh, really? Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, I think the previews showed that for the next set of episodes.
So what we're going to do here is I think we should just kind of high level go through the events of these 3 episodes, like the kind of the production events.
Yeah.
And then we can go person by person, because I like the person by person format. But I think let's just throw out the things that happened here. So in these 3 episodes, 4 through 6, what do we do? We're gonna do the dates that we picked.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do the dates. Then let's see what else we got.
Oh, they have dinner and get to talk about their jobs.
They reveal the jobs. Okay.
Oh, then this isn't a production thing, but this is a self thing that they did that was spicy, where they're just like, okay, we're gonna play the what Never Have I Ever truth game or whatever, where you have to put a finger down if you yeah.
There's
which we don't normally get this early. It's a little spicy sometimes. Yeah. Then we get a big X reveal.
We get an X reveal. Then we get a group talking room, which leads to a new woman joining the house.
Yes.
Right? Is that the big level, high level stuff? Okay. Let's, who cares? I've had issues with the order of things on this show. So
okay.
Let's just talk about the new girl first.
Oh.
Okay. Let's talk about the talking room first. Okay.
Talking room first. But the talking room comes after the dates, and therefore
who cares? Okay. Let's just talk. We don't have to talk about specific things about people, but let's just talk about what the talking room is real fast.
Okay. The talking room.
And how it led to the new girl, and then let's talk about the new girl.
Okay.
I'm gonna do whatever I feel like. Are you ready for this, or do you have issue with my choice? Usually you don't
bracing
care.
Myself. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
we're
just coming at me with some curves. It's
let's
fine.
Just do it this way, okay? So let's explain the talking room. Explain the group talking room that we're gonna do. Everybody gets a text on day 4. I know episode 3 starts in day. Like 2. It's like the night of day 2 or something. Let's just go to day 4.
We're talking about now. Yeah.
Let's go to day 4.
Okay, the text is the anonymous group talking room is open. You can ask any questions, but you may not reveal your ex. So they send all the women off first. They're all in their own little rooms. They can't see each other. They can't hear each other other than their post-processed squeaky robot voices. And they get to just talk about whatever. And then they do the same thing with the guys.
Yeah. The voices are funny. I do think that is funny. That remains consistent with last season. Didn't like this talking room stuff last season, if I recall. I don't have a lot to say about this in general, but like this segment is literally just only to make people jealous. Like there's nothing. Like they're having the women only talk to the women, and they're having the men only talk to the men. Like It's literally just, I hope somebody says something that'll make them jealous. Like that's what production is doing here.
But I think it also gives us an interesting insight into where people are at right now. Because, like, yeah, you can lie in the talking room, and yeah, you can also lie in confessional, but we get a combination of both of these things that is like, maybe there's some truth there. If you're, saying this in the talking room and then saying this about it in confessional, that you get a kind of idea about who people are actually interested in right now.
Yeah, I think mostly I relied on their confessionals anyway, which they could have just given to us anytime. It's a lot of like, are you interested? Who's interested in this person? And then like, I don't know, like one of the guys like was interested in every girl. So it's like, did I really learn a lot? There's a little bit going on here, but
I mean, now I know a little bit more about him. Like I did not necessarily know his like intentions before, and now I'm like, oh, you really are just like out there for like, it doesn't really matter. Okay.
Okay.
Like I understand that now.
Yeah. Here are the fun things that happen though.
Okay.
Salkin speaks in an accent to even further not get caught. Like the voice disguise wasn't enough, so she wanted to speak in accent. What did you kind of
shenanigans like this are so good?
Yeah, what did she want to like kind of get caught? Just be like, oops, everybody knows who I am and my information. Oopsies.
Yeah, I guess not.
As long as production can't kick you off the show is an accident, right? Just like, oops.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, she has enough oopsies later where, I mean, like, she's on thin ice, I feel like. There's definitely some stuff that happens later that gives shit away to people that, like,
yeah, but it's all oopsies.
She doesn't need to be trying harder.
It's all oopsies. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because I guess Juwon is like a freaking like music listening phenom, and like he can just tell by the way people are talking, just regardless of how deep or high pitched their voice is, like he just knows who it is. So he knows who all the four guys are when they're talking in the room, as if
I mean, at least that's what he says. Like,
I believe him. I mean, he didn't. Right. I mean, they didn't show us him get anything wrong, and that's I feel like the show loves it when people get shit wrong. So I'm just gonna assume he knew it.
Fair.
And then
fair, yeah.
And then. Yeah, then a fifth person joins the call, and he's like, "There's a fifth person on this call," and it's like, well, it's like the voices shouldn't make it seem like they're the same voice, but it's not working, I guess, for Juwon.
Yeah.
All right, but the women, it's I just have like they mostly just ask each other like, "So who texted this person?" or like, "Did anybody get a text from this person?" So it was a lot of information like we already know. Like I can see why maybe it's like interesting information to them, but. Largely it's like they get to like find out like, oh, the person that they're interested in other women are also interested in, or maybe nobody's texting the person they're interested in, then they're happy, or it's like stuff like that. But it's a lot of information we already know. There was a question though that somebody asked, who do you like the most, including your ex? Now okay, now this is learning information, Sarah. I agree. We're about to learn something here. Yujung says Juwon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Little surprising. I don't know. Yeah. I guess they were like doing stuff in the kitchen together, right? Like she was like his assistant.
Yeah, I feel like things have been ramping up.
They showed us something for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then, you know what? Let's save this. Let's just say Seokyeon also says Juwon, and we'll just put a pin in that for later. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the men go. Yeah. Basically, a fifth person happens. There's a fifth person on the call. Eventually, that was listening in the whole time, and all the guys are like, oh my god, is there a fifth person? I can't tell, but if there is, it's definitely the fifth guy that's going to join the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little do they know, it's actually the fifth woman who's joining the house, and they've
been listening to them talk the whole time.
Thankfully, they wasn't like
kind of great.
Yeah, thankfully they weren't just being like, did you guys see Dahe's ass? Like it looked real good.
Yeah, it wasn't all butt talk, right?
That would have been
but
hilarious.
Like because we in last season there's a part where they one-on-one talk with the new person, and they don't know who they're talking to, but they're all very guarded about saying that they're into somebody or not. But when they're all just the guys, they're like, oh no, I'm into this person, I'm into that person. And so she actually gets like an authentic answer, whereas I feel last season that whole segment was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is better as a group conversation.
I mean, it's also very like sketchy and weird, but
yeah, it is weird. Like especially the women, it was just like a lot of information we already knew. But like yeah, and it's just another device that the show is using to just, it bothers me every time. They do a segment that's just like, we're gonna try to make you jealous and have more emotions about your ex specifically. Actually, this isn't specifically about ex. It actually could just jealousy of a new person you like too. So
yeah.
But okay, let's meet the new girl. Sound good?
Yes.
All right.
Just scrolling to that part of my notes.
I want to get everybody in here. Then we can do all their jobs in one talk.
Okay.
And then we can restart.
So yeah, our new person is Kang Song-jong.
Song-jong.
Yeah. She's got fun, same syllable at the end of, or same character at the end of all of her syllables. It's a fun name.
She's going to end up choosing Juwon because she's like an activities sports person, and Juwon said he
wants to go to amusement parks.
He likes to go to amusement park, which is like the closest thing.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, we don't know who her ex is? Do you think she was trying to pick her ex?
Oh, no, I don't think she's trying to pick her ex. And 100% we know who her ex is. Like, it's Guang. It's Guang Tae. Come on.
You're buying the hard sell that the show is giving you right now.
It's not even a hard, it's just.
Oh my God.
It's just like.
I'm going to act.
The math.
No.
And like, I mean, that man started behaving completely different.
Yeah, because he was like, a girl showed up and that's also not my ex. That's crazy. Where's my ex?
Okay.
That's my
sure.
theory. I have to keep rolling with anything they say is bullshit until it doesn't work.
Except it exactly lines up with my predictions at the end of last episode, so I am full in.
But that prediction was better until they started shoving it down our throats that it was true, and now it doesn't seem true no more.
There's only so many people they're gonna throw on this show, okay?
But we got to 12 before, and it's possible her ex is not in the house. So I think I'm gonna operate under that assumption, because if it was so obvious, why did they just reveal it to us already? Because
they're gonna do it next episode. They do it every other episode.
The show has to do it every other episode.
I mean, that's the formula so far. Every other episode we get next.
They have to do it that way. Okay.
They want to milk their mystery a little bit,
Yeah, but I also think it makes a lot of sense that she wouldn't have had a chance to pick her ex, because she, like, the opportunity they gave her was like, listen to these people talk with voice modulation, but like she almost like started giving them like dating questions with the voice modulation, and then she went off that for who to pick. I feel like it would also make sense like if all four of them weren't her ex, and that so like the show didn't risk her picking her ex, because I don't think.
Okay.
I feel like the show doesn't want people to date their ex on the first time. No, we haven't seen
they like to draw it out. Yeah.
In 2 seasons, we've never seen it happen, but it seems like it could have happened, but also it hasn't happened. So I feel like they don't want it to happen. And I think it also makes sense with the narratives they like to tell that they don't want it to happen. Right. Yeah.
They also could have been like, hey, your ex is A, don't pick him.
They could have done that too. Yeah. They definitely could have done that, but it feels cleaner if it just wasn't a possibility anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to hear what the host said about Song-jong?
They
said
a lot.
So many things about her. I guess maybe in like the first episode they know, like, okay, I hope the hosts say a bunch of things about everybody, but then the show just like decides
edits it down.
Like not worth it. Now I have been thinking about, okay, the hosts definitely say things about everybody, but why do some people not get anything? And what does that mean? Like, does that mean like, can we tell from like episode 1, like, okay, this person's not going to be a main character because
that would require
they didn't even bother us like having the host
go back to our notes.
Yeah, I would have to go back, but I was just thinking about it. All right, but here are all the things they say about Song-jong, because she's the only new person. They got really excited. She's pretty. She's very attractive. Look at that mole under her left eye. That's her attractive feature. She looks very elegant. She's cute too. She has attractive single eyelids. So yeah, we got a lot of comments.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, the host thinks she's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Is she going to be a huge character on this season? Or is it just, I don't remember like in past seasons, like does the new person probably gets more comments than the people that start, if I had to guess.
Yeah. I think the show probably likes hyping up the idea of the game changer. Yeah.
Okay. So she's going to go on a date with Juwon. I want to save the date with Juwon for later. Let's do that.
Okay. Okay.
What are we doing here? Okay.
I don't know. I'm just along for the ride.
Um, let's save it. Let's save it. Let's save it. Okay, now
Okay.
let's do everybody's jobs. I want
Okay.
to get up.
Dang. All
Let's
right.
get the information out there. I just want to know stuff, and then we can talk about everybody.
All right. You have a prescribed order you want to go through these people, or you just.
I'm gonna do them in appearance order. I don't think the jobs are like. Some of them are kind of interesting, maybe, but
Okay.
it's more of like completion's sake. So let's do it. Quante.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, they did it in an order. We don't have to do it in that order, but I do think it's interesting maybe to
They like
note who. Actually, let's do it in order.
next
Let's do it
person.
in their order. I can figure it out. Who started? It was Saul Kyun got to choose who starts because she read the note and she chose Hui Hyun because that makes sense. She seems like she might be interested in Hui Hyun, right? I feel like it kind of means who you picked. That's why I bothered it writing it down. But then eventually there are
She
like
didn't
less.
pick. Wait, this is not the order I have this in.
Didn't Hui Hyun go first?
I have Chuan.
Juwon. Oh, you're right. Juwon went first. Oh, yeah, you're definitely right.
Although So Kyun did pick Hui Hyun after
Right,
she went
I
later.
just wrote the wrong thing. Okay, whatever. Oh, he picked her. Oh, she picked him later. Okay. Juwon.
Yeah,
Let's
she
start with
picked him
Juwon.
later.
Let's start with Juwon. Okay.
He majored in vocal jazz, and now he makes music for videos like commercials and brand videos. And he also says he makes beat and instrumental tracks for Hybe trainees. So that's pretty cool. He
Ooh.
makes music. Hybe being one of the idol companies,
Gotcha.
the like big four. Like that's the fancy one these days.
Are they shitbags or are they not shitbags?
I mean, they're all shitbags to a certain extent, but these are the shitbags that BTS calls home, so they have the most money right now, you know?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. It sounds like he like I'm imagining his job is like, here's a commercial or a video with like no sound of any interest. Make a soundtrack to this that makes it good. That's basically how I imagine his job. Yeah, okay. But you said he actually writes songs, or
I mean, he's making music for those things, you know?
okay.
So
is he writing lyrics, or you think it's just like
it sounds like it's an
beats for
instrumental
lyric-
situation.
Instrumental. Okay,
Yeah.
that's still very impressive. Yeah. All right. That was along the lines of what people expected. He's artsy, right?
Yep.
All right. Next we have Yu Jung.
She majored in aviation service and then decided that was not for her and is now a cosmetic model.
She didn't decide. Somebody told her, or the aviation
Well,
service
she said her
was like,
personality doesn't match.
Your personality doesn't really match with being a flight attendant, which I don't know exactly what that means.
That means she probably doesn't take enough shit from people.
Yeah, that's basically
it's probably what it means, and I can respect that. But yeah, so now she is a like model for beauty products.
Yeah, the model thing also makes it seem like Quante, because we're gonna find out Quante's like met his ex because his photographer friend like needed a guy model for some photos he was doing.
Yeah. With he wanted to do couple photos.
It seems like she would have been the model, the woman model, in that scenario. It just, I don't know. I'm just gonna assume the show's lying.
You really think that?
I can acknowledge that it makes a lot of sense, and what the hosts are saying makes a lot of sense, and based on the footage, it makes a lot of sense. But I'm just gonna say it's not true.
You know what? I'm gonna say that if Quante is not Song Jung's ex, then his ex is still not in the house.
That's what I think too. That's what I think too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's Yu Jung.
Oh no, neither do I. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not finished my texting spreadsheet, but I think that might conclude that it's impossible for them to be exes. But maybe not. They haven't been texting each other. I don't remember.
I think if you go on everything is a lie, there's like no way Yu Jung's ex is in the house at this point. I think somebody has put Yu Jung together with like everybody at this point. Okay. Which means her ex can't be in the house.
Sure.
Which means Quante's ex is not in the house if the new girl is. Yeah. So there's 3 people. I think 3 people don't have an ex in the house by the end of at the end of episode 6. Yeah.
I think we're down to 1, but okay, we'll see.
Then that would be following the same formula as season 2, which is boring, but it could be the case. Yeah. So she's a model. Then we go to Quante. She picks Quante, which it seems like she's been interested in. I think.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
What's Quante?
And he is a like sales manager for a company that imports caviar and truffles.
Is it specifically those two things? It's all the truffles.
Yeah. And it might be other food, but they definitely highlighted like caviar and truffles, like fancy people food is what he helps import.
But he's like a salesperson. Like he's the one selling or pitching to these like fine dining restaurants. Like you should buy our
Yeah.
truffles. They're like
The best truffles.
10%
Yeah.
or more addictive, and people want to come back or something. Like, I don't know what he's.
Don't think that's how truffles work, but
I don't know. I was
sure.
like, how would you sell your truffles versus somebody else's truffles? I don't know.
I don't know enough about truffles to be a truffle salesperson. So
Yeah. Also, apparently, Quante has some really thick forearms.
yes,
We find that out
is
in
true.
this job segment because they're like, you might be an MMA fighter or something because your forearms are so thick. Yes, you're a fan of thick forearms, right there.
No,
I thought we talked about this before. Am I?
we talked. Yeah. I like the nice forearms, but
Oh, okay.
it doesn't
What's
have
the
to be
difference?
thick. Defined, a little veiny is sort of the thing that
Oh,
tends
okay.
to be. It's whatever.
Okay.
It's not the most important thing, but it's a thing.
Did you get a look at his forearms? Did he have nice forearms?
I mean, as far as I saw, they were some thick forearms. I did not. The resolution on the video I'm watching does not really
You couldn't
highlight
inspect
the
detail.
definition.
Yeah, you couldn't inspect
Yeah.
the details that you were concerned about with the forearms.
Exactly.
Okay. I
Right.
got you. Okay.
I need a better quality video for that.
All right, let's go to Sakya.
She is a dental hygienist, which is
Dental hygienist.
a
Oh,
normal
yeah.
person
So
job.
I was kind of this all happens after the dates, but like I was kind of vibing with Son Kyun, and then she said she was a dental hygienist, and I was like, oh no, I don't like dentists.
Oh, really?
I don't know what it is, but like I feel like every
I mean,
time
you're not alone. A lot of people don't like dentists.
yeah, like I mean, I don't like going to the dentist. I mean, like I feel like my experience with dentists isn't like they're not my kind of people, and I feel like whenever somebody's a dentist on a reality TV show, I end up not liking them, and I don't know if it's
okay.
like at this point I don't know what came first. Like, do I not like I don't like dentists, so I don't like the people that are dentists, or I don't like the people that are dentists, so I don't like dentists. Like I don't even know what it is anymore. I was kind of liking Seokyeon, and then we found out she was a dentist, so I got worried. I got worried.
I don't know. It's just one of those jobs where I'm like, I could do it. Super gross, but good on you. You know.
I don't know what it is. It's like this kind of person that would like want to be a dentist, I guess. I don't
feel
know.
Like all the dentists I've known in real life have been like all about being dentists, you know?
Yeah, they're like really into it, or like
yeah.
Maybe they're like a little. They're I think what it is like I think they often tend to be like perfectionists kind of people.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
At least like especially the dentists that I've had, and I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I've been scarred by my dentist experiences.
Well, I will say that everybody at the table immediately like felt uncomfortable about their own mouth near her.
Yeah.
After they found
that's not, that wouldn't have. I wouldn't have thought that. I would have just been like, I hope you're not like the dentist I've met before. All right. Then we go to Hui-hyun,
who is a college student. He's a senior at Korea University in the School of Media and Communication because he wants to be like a TV journalist.
Yeah. Seokyeon didn't think he was young. Didn't think he was so young.
That surprises me. He just has the face that makes me go, oh, what a teeny baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bad read. Because there seemed to be like a Hui-hyun Seokyeon thing, but then I was like, oh, maybe she's not into younger dude. Might be over.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Yoo-jung and Hui-hyun's date that they are going to have, they literally go to Korea University. And Hui-hyun tells her, like, oh, I didn't go here. I just live near here and I like the campus. Or something.
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
like, is this your school? Do you go here? He's like, oh man, I wish I went here.
Hui-hyun is like way overcommitted to like being deceitful.
He's trying to follow the rules.
I'm kind of here for it. Like, it's so over the top. Like, I'm pretty sure you can say you go to this school if this is where they allowed you to like have a date. But he's like, no.
I think he could have said that he went to the school. I don't think he could say that he currently goes there. That would be
but he didn't even say that.
his...
He was like, no, I've never been like in the school. I just kind of like to walk around.
I don't even know what school is. Yeah, it was kind of a little over the top.
But I feel like Yoo-jung was like, she definitely noticed, like, oh, he like actually lied to my face when I straight up asked him if he went to the school, and then he lied, and now he's telling us the truth. So she might feel a certain way about that.
I feel like she'll give him a little leeway because, the show.
I mean, unless she wasn't that into him anyway, and now it's like, well, another negative. I won't. I think it's something where, like, if you liked him, you wouldn't care too much about it, but if you weren't really feeling him, then you're like, this is another point against him.
Okay.
All right, Dahye. There's a big setup for Dahye.
Yeah, can I talk about the setup? Is that what we're doing now?
Go ahead.
Okay. So immediately, like, Dongjin's like, I can guess 100% what, her job is, but I'm not going to tell you because it would just, it would ruin the thing. Like, it would give it away. And basically, because she, was an idol singer, he's trying to pass off that, like, he recognized her because when he was in the military, like, is when her group was going around to the military places and performing for the guys. Yeah. And, like, he's just trying to set it up like she was, like, really successful and amazing or whatever. Whereas, like, I feel like she may have been really popular amongst the military folks at the time, but, like, maybe didn't get that wider success. So, like, he's trying to set it up so that way they're not like, wait, what is Bestie? Like, nobody's ever heard of that group. He just wants her to look good.
Is that what it is?
And
like,
it is the sweetest thing. What did it feel like to you?
First we got, like, a confessional from Dahye saying she was, like, very worried about revealing her job. And then Dongjin did this because I was reading it as, like, oh, he was also worried about Dahye revealing her job, and I was like, what are we worried about? Like, is like, do people feel a certain way about, like, dating people that are idols, or they know they can't date people that are idols? Like, I didn't really get what I
think that might be her concern, and like that's why she was worried about what people would think. But, like, from his confessional, it sounded more like he was worried that they wouldn't have heard of her group. And he didn't want her to not feel good about revealing this, like.
Like, if I didn't know, and I, this wouldn't be what it would be, but, like, it almost felt like she was going to be, like, an escort or something. Like, I was like, what kind of dark, like, job? Like, I don't know. It was like, I was like, why are they so worried about revealing this very impressive accomplishment that, to me, that she has? And then I thought the whole thing with Dongjin was, like, very rehearsed between them. Like, I felt like this was a pre-planned thing that, like, production had them maybe talk about so that it wouldn't be totally obvious that they dated. I don't know. It seemed kind of pre-planned to me, this whole.
Oh, really?
It
felt, to me, it felt pre-planned, but, like, on his side, like, he had been thinking about this ahead of time, knowing it was going to come up.
The reason it was pre-planned is because I feel like the first person that said, like, oh, you must have seen, or Dahye said, like, oh, you must have seen me when you were in the military. But I feel like she brought that up before Dongjin did, as if, like, they had a back and forth that they had already planned on doing, basically, on this, where he was like, oh, I know her, she's pretty famous and I recognize her. And she's like, oh, well, you probably recognize me from that military. You probably were in the military, right? Even though I don't know you. You were probably in the military.
He referred to her as a ray of light in his toughest time. So, like, I think that is fair.
It was a lot. Okay, maybe they didn't talk about it. It just came across the way to me.
I think this is cute as fuck, and it adds to my whole this entire season. So is about these two.
Okay, we'll get back to it. But, like, you're still rooting for them to get back together.
I don't. Like, I'm losing hope that that's going to happen, and I am a little, like...
Oh, you are losing hope that's
unhappy. Wow. Yeah, and I am a little unhappy with her texting game.
Oh, yeah, you better be, or I got problems with you.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, still not as menacing as the ones we got from Haeun, but she is, in fact, making him feel bad. I am a little biased, but I still want her to stop texting him right now, You
were held at Haeun in season 2 way before I was.
Yeah, because Haeun's like...
You couldn't handle her crying. You can handle Dahye.
And
she's not crying. Dahye's not crying as much in these 3 episodes.
Exactly.
The first 3.
Exactly. There was way more Haeun tears at this point.
She's not as bad, but the texts are up there with the Haeun strats.
They're not menacing, at least, but they do need
Some of them are. I'll read them for you, and you tell me how menacing.
Okay, we'll get to that then.
All right.
But yeah, so anyway, she was the main dancer and rapper and bestie. She's still a singer now, and yeah, that's her job.
Debuted in 2013. There you go.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. What about Hyewan? She doesn't choose a guy. She doesn't. I guess she didn't want to. She maybe didn't want to choose Dongjin, and that's the only person she cares about. So she chose a girl instead. I don't.
Well, there's also only 2 people left, but yeah.
Oh, is there only 2 left? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So Hyewan teaches English for now. She wanted to be a diplomat while she was growing up and starting school and whatever, but now she wants to work for an international fashion company.
Oh, she doesn't currently work for an international fashion company?
She's like studying to try to get a job at an international fashion company. So she is
still in school.
I don't know.
I can't. That's I don't know either. I feel like I thought she worked for an international fashion company because she decided she would rather do that instead of being a diplomat.
She definitely decided she would rather do that than be a diplomat. But yeah, she teaches English, but she also like said she was studying to get a job at an international fashion company. Okay. Whether that means in school or on her own time, I do not know.
Yeah, because we don't see like Huihyun is going to be like studying for a midterm, but we don't see her like studying.
Right.
And we don't know where she's going during the day. These episodes largely took place over the weekend, I feel like. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or at least they all cleared their schedules.
And then, so yeah, last one is Dongjin.
He is the CEO of his own food distribution company that specializes in distributing prepared meat.
Gross. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
If only he was still an idol. All right.
Yeah, those are our jobs. Oh, wait. But we did not do our
oh, yeah, new girl. Yeah. How could we forget? Dongjin forgot to pick her. That was the problem. All right.
Well, she just wasn't there yet. So she revealed a little bit of her job when she was on her date with Juwon.
Yeah, just give it to us. What are the jobs here?
Okay. So one of her jobs is she works at a startup that like customizes exercise for like elderly folks.
Yeah. That's her boring job.
Yeah. But her cool job is that she was a speed skater for 17 years. She was in the 2014 Winter Olympics and won a gold medal.
Oh, yeah.
And she retired from that 2 years ago and is now a speed skating referee. And she gets to shoot the little starting gun.
Yeah. Yeah, she did short track. I think she said they got the gold in the 3,000 meters. You watched short track speed skating, Sarah?
I have watched some speed skating, but the distinction between the kinds or whatever is lost
short
on
track
me.
Is where it's at. It's chaotic.
What is the deal with okay?
So there's like, I think speed skating, I don't think they call it long track. Speed skating is kind of like you can imagine it like a racetrack, like track and field.
It's like
race
running, but
it's like
skates.
I think
Yeah.
For speed skating, it's like even bigger because they're going faster. Than you went on your feet. But short track is like really small where like you're like practically turning the entire time. So
okay.
So imagine like a really small, like it's like imagine like an indoor racetrack, but it might even be smaller than that. So
it's like the teeny Mario Kart race that you do 7 laps instead of 3 because it's so small. Got it. That's my metaphor. Yeah. I understand now.
Like at 3,000 meters, I don't know how many laps that is, but it might be like 15 laps or something. It's like, okay. That's how small the track is. But like in speed skating, there's only like 2 people on the track and it's more of like a time trial kind of thing. But in short track speed skating, it's like the wild west of like you line up and you got to go around this thing 15 times, but it's like you try to pass when you can. Like people like try to take the inside track on the turn. There are a lot of wipeouts where like people will just lose the Olympics. I think I saw a
video where like the person in 5th got gold or whatever just because the people in front
and then there's like very
dramatic
like if you like if somebody took you out and there was like they did it in like a dangerous way, it's like they might let you like qualify. Like if it was like in the early stages, like you might qualify the next round even if you wiped out, as long as like it was somebody else's fault. Kind of. But then in like the gold medal race, it's like, oh, well, too bad. Too bad. I guess somebody screwed you over, but what can you do?
Yeah. Okay.
You might win the race, but like maybe you pass somebody and it caused them to fall. And then like you might be DQ'd after the fact. Like there's crazy shit that happens in short track speed skating. So I think it might be the best Olympic sport, honestly. So I found that very exciting. These short track racers, I imagine, have like really strong legs.
Oh,
I would imagine. Isn't there a scene where she
definitely.
like flips Dongju? They were playing some sort of like game on the floor.
Yeah.
They're like trying to knock each other over, and they're just like sitting with their knees bent on their butts. And Dongjin like didn't think she was gonna be able to move them, and she just like one leg just like flipped. I was like, oh, that's probably the short track speed skating strength.
Yeah, makes sense.
I thought that was exciting.
Yeah,
to have an actual
she has
Olympic
the
medalist.
coolest job. Yeah. Now we have in last season had an Olympic athlete on the.
Oh,
show.
I said that. I said no. They should bring back Hidu so they can date each other.
No. Let's never bring back Hidu.
They could, but they can have a skate date and they can race each other. It'll be great.
I don't want
Hidu won't be with Naya anymore.
Anyone. I mean,
there's a lot of upsides. I mean, we have to watch
that is
Hidu
an upside,
again.
But yeah, I don't want to watch it.
Do we risk it for the skate date though?
No, we do not. She can go on a skate date with somebody else.
Yeah, but it won't be as good. It'll be like
no, it'll be better.
It'll be better.
It'll be better. Because she's way cooler than Hidu.
Maybe she's gonna suck as much as Hidu did.
That's what I was at first worried about. I'm like, I hope Olympic athlete doesn't mean she sucks.
Oh, skaters, they're the worst.
Yeah, maybe. So far,
no, Hidu was a hockey
that's not the case.
Now I'm saying things about hockey players, but
he's still on ice. I don't know, man. I don't know what the connection is. I just hope there's none.
Now, Hidu is like that like pro athlete we talk about where it's like he probably like spends all his time training with guys, plays hockey with guys,
does not know that women are real people.
Like you got to be a short track speed skating is like it's you training by yourself, it's a very individual sport, so it's not
Don't they do, well, I guess maybe it's the long form is where they might do like relays or something, right? Is that not a thing in speed skating? I think it is.
You gotta go watch short track speed skating relays. It's insane.
Oh, well then it's not a solo thing. There you go.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but short track speed, it's like the so like you'll do like 4 laps, right? But then like when you complete the 4th lap, you like skate into the center circle area, and then like another person like another person like comes out in front of you on your team, and you like shove them in the butt to give them to give them a good, and then you go back to like to like circling the inside track, and then you have to pop back out. It's chaos. It's actually probably one of the best Olympic sports to watch. It's awesome. Okay. I don't know if she did the team stuff though. I assumed the gold medal was not for the team event, but actually maybe it was. I don't know how long the team relays are. All right. All right, that was exciting. All right, we did all the jobs. Any other things we have to check on? We can do the dates as we talk about people if we want.
I mean, other than that, it's texting, which is what we talk about people, and then the drinking game, which feels like a later thing, and yeah,
drinking game wasn't
go through people.
Drinking game.
You want to go to the drinking game?
There wasn't a lot.
Okay,
we're gonna find out the drinking game. This is all I have. I thought it was hard to follow. Maybe wasn't the most interesting information. But we're gonna find out that Juwon, Hyeon, and Huihyun, new girl is not here for the drinking game. Admit to everybody in the room that they want to get back with their ex.
Yes.
So Hyeon and Huihyun
both theoretically want to get back with each other.
So yeah, it's over, right? We don't have to worry about these two anymore, right?
No, except Huihyun also said in a confessional that his ratio of getting back to her versus not used to be 7-3, and now he's met the girl, so it's like 6-4. So who knows what's up in this?
I don't really, I don't understand this guy at all. Actually, I'll be honest. Yeah, I want to get back with my ex, but like not as much as I did before.
Yeah, but enough that I'll still say it in front of her, and then do whatever in the house anyway. Yeah.
All right, that was the big information, but we can talk about individual things as we get. All right, who do we want to talk about first? What are we doing here? Where do we start? Do you want to? Let's go by the dates, right? So you want to do like do a date? Maybe just do the order of the people and the dates.
Yeah. Okay. So
what was first? We had
Juwon and Dahae. Dahae went on the first date.
Juwon and Dahae. All right. Let's talk about Juwon first. Do we want to talk about their date and then their stories?
Well, do they have much? I don't think they even have much. There's texting that happens before the date, like, is the only thing that like, went on. Like, we have an
Oh,
evening
yeah,
and
yeah.
then a morning. In the
Oh,
morning,
yeah.
there's
And
a
the date.
date.
I mean, the
So,
dates are. I mean, were there any good text on day 3 prior
no,
to
on
the
day
date?
2, there were some texts. Yeah,
On day. Oh, was day 2 where we left off?
it's day
We were
2
still
where
on
we
day
left
2 at
off.
the end of episode 3. Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, so we had texting at the end of. Okay, what were the texts here?
Okay. Well,
Anything on these
Juwan did not
texts?
get any texts.
Let's do everybody's text. Day 2. Who cares? Okay.
Okay. Jeez, chaos. All right.
This is like short track speed skating relays.
Oof.
We're the Wild
Ooh.
West here of podcasting.
All right. Back to evening time, day 2.
Day
we
2.
got texts.
Here we go.
Okay. We've got Quante gets 2 texts. We don't see who they're from.
Yeah, but he's disappointed because he got 3 last time.
Yeah.
And now he only got 2. Spoilers, he's only gonna have 1 by the end of this.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. He's really feeling himself, and then
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So then we have Dake gets 1 text, and it's, let's go out for a run and relieve some stress, if you know what I'm saying, at 7 a.m. tomorrow. And
wait, what are they
that's from
running and
Quante.
doing, Sarah?
Well, they're relieving stress, if you know what I'm saying.
As they're running?
Hey, I just had to get there before you got there with the show.
Damn, I didn't even have it for that one. I got some good ones later, though.
Okay.
There's some good ones.
But yeah, they had previously had a little, like, when he was, like, giving her a pep talk, because she seems real sad all the time. He was like, hey, let's go out for a run in the morning. And
can I point something out, though?
Confirming plans.
This text was received by Dahye at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then Quante's like, let's get up at 7 a.m. tomorrow and go for a run.
Yep. And then they do.
Nah. And then they do. That was crazy.
I would have been like, nah, bro. We can run in the afternoon? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But, she thinks Quante is interested in her.
Yeah.
Seems legit.
Which I think is false. I can't get the vibe off of him. Like, he doesn't seem to be interested.
Quante's going hard. He's going hard. And I don't.
A lot of other people would feel like more than her.
Well, Quante, overall, like, he's doing it on this show, which I'm appreciating it. Like, I don't totally vibe with Quante myself.
But he is putting the work into dates.
Yeah, we can talk about, like, his dating strategy when we get to it. But, like, yeah, I definitely appreciate the intensity level he's bringing to, like, actively being proactive. Actually, in general, like, a lot of people are way more proactive this season than on past seasons. But he's like, hey, you want to go on a date tomorrow? Hey, you want to go on a date tomorrow? Hey, do you want to go on a date tomorrow? And no shame.
Hope he doesn't accidentally double book, and it'll be
shame.
fine. Yeah.
Hey, if you do, I mean, the one you end up going with won't be too mad, right?
I guess. But yeah, so I don't I get the vibe that he is trying to make her feel better, and that it's not necessarily he's super interested in her, and they might just be like good buddies for when she's sad on the show.
Because spoilers, I think this is the only text Jahe's gonna get in the first 6 episodes of the show.
Yes, she does not get any more texts after this,
which is like
4 days. Like, is understandable.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean Dahe's a bad person. I just get why nobody would want to date her so far.
Yeah. She seems real hung up on her ex, so it's hard to get invested. Yeah.
I really think the Dahe Dongjin stuff is not going to go away. I think you'll be happy with where this is going if I had to guess. But if it does keep going the way it's going currently, I have hopes that Dahe can maybe recover from this very poor start to the show. But
yeah.
I think she's making some progress, but that might get all undone later if I had like in future episodes. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll see. All right.
We'll see. Yeah.
Dongjin gets 1 text.
Have fun, but don't get carried away. This is from Dahe. I don't love this text.
Yeah, not great.
It's not good.
Yeah. Can we just? I don't know if the viewers weighed in on this or the listeners weighed in on this, but I feel like I was justified in saying that she had some Heian behavior in the last episode.
I think some listeners definitely said she was definitely not as bad as Heian.
Not as bad, but enough to say, hey, this is some Heian behavior.
these texts have some Heian energy to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun. Here, I'll read it for you. Ready? Have fun. Don't get carried away tomorrow.
That's not the worst.
Do I need to pull up
It's
Heian's
not
text
great.
from last season and read them to you real fast?
Yeah, it's definitely like, I'm waiting for you. Or maybe that was one.
Oh,
I
God.
don't remember. I just feel like
I remember
they were way
you
more
reading
menacing
them
last
in
season.
the as creepy as way possible. I remember that, yeah. I don't remember specifically what they were.
But yeah, every time he gets a text from her, it is followed up by a confessional where he is exasperated that she is texting him, and he's just like, I am trying to get to know somebody new, and I really wish she would try to get to know somebody new, and the more she texts me, that means she's not texting anybody else, and what's she even doing here? Like,
She's gonna text him all 3 times, right? That
yeah.
we get 3 texting segments in these 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah. It makes sense. Like, I don't think Dongjin's being unreasonable. Like, if he's trying to move on and she keeps texting him, like, it makes him feel bad.
Yeah.
That she's only showing interest in him and he's not returning the favor. Like, it doesn't feel good. But again, maybe maybe that move with the Lion's point is like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be on the show at all. I don't know. I don't know if that's fair or not. All right.
Yeah. I just hope it stops. She gets 2 texts. We do not see who they are from.
Yeah, who are they from? It must be. Yeah, I guess they didn't give a lot of details on these texts. It must be Juwon and probably Huihyun. Like, people are texting the people they're going on a date with, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
There's also
it's definitely Huihyun.
Dongjin's a possibility.
It's definitely Huihyun because Huihyun's not going to text Hyewon this time, so it's probably Huihyun.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Seokhyun gets 1 text.
And we also do not see who.
We don't see this
what
one.
it is,
and it's not Kwante. Yeah. This could be Juwon, I guess. Maybe it is. Actually, it probably is Juwon. Hey, who texted you, John?
Dongjin.
I guess. It was Dongjin and what did I say?
Huihyun.
Oh yeah, Dongjin and Huihyun. Okay, so Seokhyun gets the Juwon text because we're gonna find out their exes. Okay, that makes sense. And then K1 gets none.
Juwon gets none, and then Huihyun gets a text of "You should go to sleep soon," and this is from
K1. Yeah, I got upset with K1 here because I was like, she doesn't get a text from her ex, and then she's like, not getting a text from my ex upset me the most.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to circle back and be like, okay, at least she texted him this time. Like, last time she didn't even text him.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a text last time from him, but now it's flipped where she's texted him now, and then yeah. This all leads to them both admitting that they want to get back with their ex, but it sounds like it's going to get messy regardless of them both telling each other that they want to get back together.
100%.
Okay. All right. Now we can finally do the dates.
Okay.
Now we can do the date for the 2 people and then talk about their stories for the rest of the 3 episodes. All right?
Okay.
We're here. This is how we're doing it. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of these dates in general, can I just say?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed all these dates. It's okay. A lot of the dates is like, let's wildly speculate about each other, even though we can't truthfully answer the question.
Well, like, if you were on a real date, you'd be getting to know each other, but the show forbids it, so.
But it was like kind of funny to watch. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it for some reason. Yeah, but so what's interesting to me is like, I pretty much enjoyed all these dates.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we literally just got finishing watching Love Catcher Bali.
Right.
And we definitely talked about in that, or at least I did, about how like there weren't that many one-on-one dates in that show. And I kind of liked it because we were coming off of Singles Inferno 3. And I was like, like the dates are probably the worst part about in Singles Inferno because like they're always the same. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like they go to the same places, and sometimes it's like 2 people you've already seen before. I don't know. I was kind of happy we didn't get any one-on-one dates. And I was saying like, I feel like the dates are like the worst part of Singles Inferno. But I feel like on this show, the dates, at least these dates that are not between exes, which is why I think I like them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
None of these dates are between exes. I think the dates are the best part of the show on this show. And maybe that's because I'm
pretty good.
Like down on a lot of the segments on the show, and then this just becomes the best part of the show by default. That's definitely a possibility, but I enjoyed all these dates.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about Dahae and Juwon.
Okay.
What did they do?
She had a little picture that said like hip on it and looked like it would continue to say hip hop.
Oh yeah, that's important to note. Like all these locations are like memories that the guys had with their ex.
Yes.
So by default, they're going to be thinking about their ex when they go on these dates with the new girls.
Yes.
Okay.
But they end up going to like a record shop slash, well, just a music shop that has like older musical mediums because there's like CDs and cassettes there too, and just a lot of like vintagey stuff.
Dahe like went out of her way to like specifically choose an outfit for this date once he like told her like where they were going. So at least she's still trying. You were worried you were worried that she was going to quit.
Oh yeah. I do not get that energy from her anymore.
Yeah. I think she's pushing through. I think we're making progress with Dahe. This is Dahe's first date with a guy that's not Dongjin in 15 years.
Yep.
That's an experience. That's fun. I'm happy for her. Somehow he could tell that she dated her ex for a long time.
She just has that doesn't know what she's doing on a first date energy, I guess.
Yeah, because she talked to his ex in the last episode or whatever, and so she knows that he dated his ex for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So when he asks her like to guess, she like gets it right, and then she's like
she calls it an adequate length,
yeah,
or something.
I think she might call it cute. 3 years, that's cute. Basically confirming that her amount of time dating
was a lot longer.
I don't think he's gonna assume it was 10 years longer, but
yeah,
like you might think like, oh, like 7 years. It must be like she must be in like closer to 7 if she thinks 3 years is cute. Okay.
But he does kind of reassure her that like, he's fine with somebody who has been in a longer relationship.
Yeah. Ju-won seems like he's willing to say that he's cool with whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't actually know for sure how he feels about anything, but okay. Yeah, I did think they were cute together, but like it doesn't really feel romantic, and I think it's largely actually it's probably both of them, but like it's especially Dahe. Like she doesn't really seem like she's going through the motions.
She's ready for any of this,
but like I don't think she's like ready to fall in love on this first date. Like
yeah.
Whereas
absolutely.
if you were like single and not tied to anybody, you'd probably be more excited.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really feeling romantic vibes, but I did think they were like cute together. And they were fun to watch. I think all these dates I think were pretty fun to watch.
There's a great bit where they're like sitting there listening to a CD and they both have headphones on and then they're like singing to it, but she's singing like really loudly in the quiet store and gets super embarrassed. And it's just so cute, That's like some real cute date shit right there. I love it.
Yeah, they go through the whole like record place, and then at the end, she's like, Dongjin also likes retro stuff. Like we get this in a confessional.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I was thinking about Dongjin a lot on this day.
Like there was a record that she like almost wanted to buy because she knew he would like it. Like
yeah. So she's thinking about her ex because of location. And then Ju-won's also thinking about his ex because it's literally somewhere they've been before. And then I swear there's like production has got to be telling them to do these photo ops. Like, yeah. He literally like takes a photo that is like replicating the photo that the cropped image was taken from that Dahe chose, which is the original photo is like him and his ex.
Yeah.
And this is done on multiple of these dates.
Well, I think that's like it's kind of a really smart setup from production because like the images that they give them like are intriguing because they're these small little bits, and so like people want to find them in the location. And the people who are not the exes, like the women, do not know that the picture is from a picture they took with their ex.
Yeah, I guess the women don't, yeah.
So they don't necessarily have that baggage. And none of the guys are going to be like, no, I don't want to take this picture with you that looks just like a picture I took with my ex, because that would be awkward.
In Dongjin's case, I could see that. In this one, it's like a weird like angle where like he like held up the card and then it was shooting in like a mirror, and then the mirror, she was in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
It was a whole thing. I feel like he didn't have to do this, but he did. And maybe he just like without thinking did the photo in the exact same way because that's how he did it. That's how you would take
it because you're trying to match the thing. Yeah,
but like
I don't
could
know.
have taken it totally different. He definitely didn't have to do it the same way. I don't know. It was weird.
But yeah, they did like show the pictures side by side of the old date and the new date, and yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. And then they go get food at a place where him and his ex went on his birthday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they talk a little bit about why he broke up with his ex, or was that in a confessional?
Oh no, they did. Yeah. That was Dahe's
Yeah.
favorite part of the date. She could really relate to that part of the date. When he opened up about his ex, she's like, "Oh, I feel you."
Because he said it just seemed inevitable that they were going to break up. So.
Oh yeah, here we go. Dahe predicts that Ju-won's ex is Yu-jung. She's 1,000% sure, so we can just cross that off the list.
Exactly.
So it's either at this point it's either Seokhyun or they're not in the house. All right, we're doing it.
Yep.
This strategy has not failed yet, so that's why there's no way that Kwante's ex is.
At some point, they run out of people, and it just works.
Yeah, at some point they do, but they haven't run out yet. There's going to be more people, right?
Okay.
She at least is like basing it off of like Dahe's prediction is like based off of like she knows that both of them like lived near each other. So like I was saying, like I was saying in episode 1, like location, even if locations don't give away the exes, it's like enough to make people think about
that they
it,
know, yeah.
Which maybe production knew the locations weren't going to give it away, so they like encouraged them to talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So they do jobs. Like I was thinking about this, it definitely didn't take that long for them to do Asian jobs in season 2. I feel like they did it on like day 2.
And we haven't even gotten ages yet.
And they haven't even done ages. They might either the production realized or there's something about this season where like ages are 100% going to give away the exes, right? It's got to be the only reason they're doing it.
Or just all the guys are very young and none of the women will date them. I don't know.
Oh, that would be even worse. I mean, I kind of get not revealing the ages if you're really trying to protect the exes thing. Because the ages did give away at least like one of the couples last year, I feel like. Or last season. Yeah. Okay. Who do you want to talk about, Dahe or Ju-won? Let's go through them. What were their storylines? What about Ju-won?
Ju-won's a whole thing.
Let's talk about Dahe.
That leads to another person. So why don't we just get Dahe out of the way?
She was big sad.
She did go on her run in the morning
with
Kwante. It was a good run.
She feels like Dongjin is completely gone after she doesn't get a text from him on night 2.
Yeah.
She says that.
She's still having a rough time.
She's like, I gave her a little bit of a pass because like she was still, I mean, she can do whatever she wants, but like she was still texting him, but also like she texted him on night 2, but the women had to go through the whole X chat room thing and the voicemails. Like, I don't know, there's a lot more where like
that's true.
It made more sense if the women were like really thinking about their exes going into this night 2 texting. Yeah. Oh, when they go for the run though, I was impressed that they actually did run. Also, I like Dahe's outfit for the run. Okay. I want to see more physical activity with people in workouts gear. That's always, I feel like if there's like rock climbing or something.
Oh yeah.
I feel like those are the dates that I like to watch.
Well, with our newest
the new
girl,
Sung-jung,
she's probably going to want to go on some outdoorsy athletic dates. Yeah.
She introduced herself as being like, I like sports and doing activities, so yeah, I might enjoy all the dates she goes on. When they're running though, when Dahe's running with Kwante, they go on a legit run. By the way, I was very impressed. Dahe's like, so should we like tell people that we went on a run together? And I was like,
she doesn't know what to do about it.
If Kwante was interested in you at all, Dahe, I feel like he's just out now. Like, come on, you got to get away from this girl at this point. That's a red flag, right? Regardless of this situation or not. Like, if you're on a date with somebody and they're like, so do you want to like tell people that we did this, or I don't know, what do you want to do? Because you only bring that up if you don't really want to tell people.
I think in this weird circumstance, you might want to be like, you're checking in with the other person to see how they feel about it. It's I don't know. It might just be her being polite. I mean, it is definitely because she doesn't want it to get out. But like, there's room for it to have gone the other way. And she's definitely not the only person who does this. Like later, Ju-won and Sung-jung have a moment of like, are we going to tell people we went on a date before you actually entered the house?
That's a little different because I actually feel like they're not supposed to tell people. Like the show doesn't want them to tell people. Whereas like I don't know about these.
Well, I think they would know dates. If the show didn't want to tell. Like I think the show would have been like, don't tell anybody.
All these dates that happened before Sung-jung showed up, they're supposed to be secret. and they're not supposed to tell
That's
each other.
true.
Like
Uh-huh.
they all make them like come back to the house staggered, so they can't tell like who went on a date with who, and
Who
like I
went with
think
who?
they
Yeah,
literally
you're
talk
right.
about how they're not allowed to talk about it. And then the whole thing with
Mhm.
Songjong is like she secretly selected Juwon. I feel like they're also not supposed to talk about it, so it's like a little bit different to me. Whereas these unofficial dates, I don't feel like there is like a production rule as to like telling
Yeah.
people like, hey, I went for a run in the morning with Quante.
I just think with that Sungjoon Juwon date, if it was supposed to be a secret, production would have told them. They wouldn't have to talk about it, you know?
Maybe, but yeah, it's definitely like you could take the angle. I think I like Jae, and I actually like respect the route that she's taking so far in the show in terms of like she's obsessed with her ex, but I don't think she's
Mhm.
pushing. I don't think she's pushing it because like she could have taken the route of like telling everybody about this Quante thing because her goal is like to make him jealous. You know, she could have taken that route,
Right.
but she doesn't do that, and she doesn't want to show like throw him mixed signals. And at least maybe she hasn't thought about it like this, but like if I was serious about getting back together with my ex, like I would want him to know I'm serious and not throw him like mixed signals of like.
Mm-hmm.
So like it makes more sense to me that she doesn't want him to hear about it because she doesn't want him to get like the wrong idea, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's still a good reason for Quante maybe not to want to date her anymore.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense for her. Like I think it's.
Yeah.
I like it better than being like, I'm gonna make him jealous. Like he wants to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I will point out the irony that is she made. Well, she didn't make, but like Dongjin had to keep his relationship with her a secret for 13 years, and now she's asking Quante to keep his relationship with her a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Fair.
That's great. Let guys talk about you. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's definitely worried about what Dongjin did on his date, right?
Yeah.
This in the truth game, it came up this idea of like winning your ex back, and she said something along the lines of like, maybe this was in confessional, I'm not sure, but she said like she doesn't want to win her ex back. Like if he likes somebody else.
Yeah, she doesn't want to like get in the way of that or whatever. Yeah.
She's at least telling us like she doesn't want to win him back if he actually likes somebody else, but she does want him to like her. And I think her actions are consistent with those words. So
yeah.
I like Dahye. I don't think she's dateable on this TV show, but I like her. I think she's a reasonable person.
My core beliefs about her are this is too soon for her to be on this show. Like they were together for 13 years, broke up like 5 months ago. She needs some time to heal.
If you wanted to have like a fun experience and date new guys, yeah, she's not ready for that. But
yeah.
But if she wanted to have
if
a
she's
chance
just
with
here
her
to
ex,
get her ex back, I guess
she was ready to take a shot at having a chance with her ex.
I suppose.
Yeah, that's the Dahye story. I'm up on Dahye. I like her.
There's a lot of her showing up in a room that Dongjin is in, and then he just leaves it, and there's just an awkward energy that continues between them. I think is the rest of these episodes with her. You know, that's like
it's gonna be like that.
Her story.
Yeah, what has to happen to Dongjin for him to kind of turn around? That's what it feels like it's gonna happen. Now Dongjin is gonna like at least for the next. I think Dongjin is only getting texts from Dahye for these 3 episodes, right?
Yes,
I think that's correct.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe he starts. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe the X room is really gonna.
Yeah.
Maybe the X room
I think
really
it's
gonna
really.
do it to
I think
him.
that's what it is. Honestly, like
is that where Hidu broke down last season?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Maybe the X room's gonna really fuck Dongjin up, and then they're gonna get back together.
Oh.
Feels bad.
I like
bad,
the storyline
right?
where they get back together.
Yeah, like, why are we rooting for
like
this?
that being
why are
the
we
way?
rooting for this? Like, it seems like they're moving in the right direction, and this show's just gonna. Okay. All right.
Because they do really still care about each other. It's just circumstance, maybe, that is the reason they can't be together. I don't know.
They're taking 1 step forward, and this show's gonna make them take 2 steps back. That's how I feel.
I never argued that this show was a healthy way to approach your relationship. So,
yeah. I mean, I do think like, actually, I don't know, but like, is there a higher chance that they get back together by being on the show. Maybe, like, it sounded like they maybe would have not talked again ever. You know? So if you really want to get back with your ex, I mean, it's still, the show might help you with that.
Like, I have theories about like the couple that gets revealed in the one of these episodes, that like he only signed up for this show because she blocked him and he couldn't like talk to her any other way. So like that sounds valid, like a reason somebody might do this.
Yeah.
But who knows?
We'll talk about Ju-on right now. Let's go. We can talk about Ju-on, and then we can go into his second date that he's gonna have. He says his ex is also into records, like old records, like he is.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, is anybody else in the house into old records? Apparently, okay.
We do get like some him and Yu Jung hanging out while he cooks interactions happening.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, but like again, they don't
a lot,
focus
but it's something.
a lot. When it's not going to be their exes, they don't focus a lot on it as much. But it was like enough. They showed us enough that it made sense that like, okay, I guess he likes her.
Yeah, I think he like mentions they should get a meal together or something.
Yeah, that was weird.
At some point.
Yeah, there's a point where Ju-on texts Yu Jung like something about an afternoon meal, and then she reads the text and is like, I don't know who sent that to me. And then he brings up an afternoon meal with her later. And then I don't even know if she made the connection. And then it becomes like... Did she even make the connection to the text? I don't even know.
She might not, but it sounds like they're trying to set up a date then. So.
Did we see a scene where he mentioned an afternoon meal prior to texting her? I don't think we did.
I don't think he did, but like she... Like, afternoon meal is like a weird way she refers to lunch, and like she said it in front of a bunch of people, and then they kind of made fun of her at some point.
That happened in the first three episodes. Yeah,
and so that's why she doesn't know who sent it, but it stuck out to him.
Gotcha. Oh, it's not as terrible as the text as I thought it was. Okay, it's at least referencing like something. Okay, I got you.
But also, like,
it's not good.
This text happens before the big argument we're going to talk about. And is theoretically in a time frame when he's still very focused on his ex before he says, hey, I'm going to go explore other people. So maybe he was like just sending a vague text to not really commit to anything with somebody else, you know?
Yeah, maybe. So do we think Ju-on texted... So Seokhyun is his ex, but it's like, did we think he texted Seokhyun on the first day? I think he must have, right? Because she got 2 texts.
Yeah, I think so.
Most likely it was him and Kwante, right? And then Dongjin texted Yu Jung. So at least he texted on the first day, and then maybe he switched because she didn't text him. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how... Well, we'll get into it in a second here. All right. Yeah, okay, here it is. So he's going to invite... Is this after day 3 texting or day 2 texting?
It must be after day 3 texting. Well, when's their... The drinking game is day 3, right? Because it is after that.
Yeah. So it's after day 3
and
texting.
The texts happen before the drinking. So yeah.
Yeah, after the truth game. So it's after day 3 texting, and after they play this truth game, Ju-on's like tells Seokhyun like, hey, you want to go outside to talk? And then they go to like the darkest point in the yard to have a
there's like somebody over in the normal part, which is theoretically the reason they have gone around the side of the house where there are no windows and no lights, and he thinks no cameras. Yeah.
They retreat into the shadows of darkness to have this conversation for some reason. Yeah. And they basically just start bickering like they're exes because they are exes.
Because they are.
But here's the thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know how interested he is in his ex. Like, I think we find out he did invite her, right? I think I have that right.
Yes. Okay. I think at this point he was 100% interested in her based on the fact that this argument is happening at all.
But this argument that he's making, at least how he presents it, in terms of what he's upset about, is like he's upset that she hasn't texted him.
Yeah.
You know? But like it's like almost like he's just like cannot believe that she would be interested in like the other guys more than him. And it's like more of like
there's also that.
It's more of like he feels like it's like an attack on his pride.
Yes.
Like he's not sad, he's like angry. Like I don't get this guy. This guy's awful. I'll explain it right now.
Yeah.
Have you cut this man's string? Have you cut this man's string yet?
Like okay, so up to this point, I was like, I was like, oh, what a cute little bean. He's a nice fellow. And then it's like, I don't know, like, have you ever like been around someone and you hear them yell for the first time and you're like, oh God, what is happening? I'm scared now. Like that, like I got shivers when he started yelling at her. And I
Oh,
was just
really?
like, I don't enjoy this anymore. No, thank you.
I mean, I
um,
wasn't shocked because I've seen this show before, but
okay, well,
he
I
was
don't
just
know.
what
He
he
had
was like
cute
nothing
little
to me.
bean energy before this,
Oh,
and then
really?
it's suddenly
Okay.
like, oh no, what's happening? Um, yeah, I wasn't, I was not enjoying this argument.
Yeah, he basically just not happy, very bitter that she did not text him
Hmm.
yet, even though he invited her on the show. So again, like move the line is saying, I guess he thought it meant something that she agreed to be on the show. That must be
Yeah.
the expectation that he's working with.
And I think he also thought it would mean something to her that he invited her. Like, to him, that was a very clear indication that he wants to get back together, even though he never said it. And so now he's annoyed that she has not followed through with the thing they never talked about.
Yeah. But like the whole point of even inviting her out here is to like make her feel like she's the bad guy in the situation. Like I like honestly
Mm.
like that's how it comes across. Yeah. Also like has he watched the show before? Has he watched the show?
I mean, I would
Come
hope
on.
you'd watch a show before you went on it, but who
Come
knows?
on. Have you watched the show? Like did you see Guman last season on the show? No guarantee your ex is into you
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
because they're on the show.
Hmm.
He's gonna call her silly multiple times. Like, silly
Yes.
girl, you didn't text me. You're the one
Hmm.
making a mistake.
Very condescending.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I've 100% cut his string. I'm not going back for sure. K1, I
yeah.
kind of rolled back. I'll say like I was like I half cut her string, but I didn't go all the way.
Okay,
But
okay.
I'm ready to 100% cut this guy's string. No regrets. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
How long did these strings
I
last this season? Oh, we're definitely one is gone.
Okay. But yeah, there's a part here because they like their whole big thing is talking about this last argument they ever had, and he says something along the lines of like, "Well, I was gonna apologize to you, but I couldn't get a hold of you or whatever," and she's like, "Cause I blocked you," and he's like, "Cause you blocked me." So I feel like he just went on this show because he literally couldn't talk to her any other way because she blocked him on everything, which is
I
weird.
assume you still want to get back with the person. You're not just like you're like you blocked me, so I want to see you, but I'm not interested in getting back with you. Like he's got to be interested in her still. All right, let's get to their story.
Okay.
I like this
Um.
story. I'll be honest, because it's very,
Mhm.
very detailed and specific about how they broke up, and I love it.
Oh, 100%. It's like they wrote down the exact script of the final conversation they had.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love it. That's what I want from all the relationships, and when I don't get it, I'm just like, they just didn't do it, but it's probably something like
Hmm.
this. Like, I assume all
Yeah.
these relationships ended like similar to this, but we're actually getting it for them. They met on Instagram, Sarah.
Yes. He followed her and messaged her first.
I feel like whenever I watch like, or I don't watch this that much, but I watch like part of a season of like 90 Day Fiance, and I feel like
Okay.
all those relationships are like we met on Instagram. And then like if I watch 90 Day
Okay.
Fiance, like some of them are catfishing for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, those are all like they know the person is like a foreigner,
Yeah, yeah. They're
so that's not the
they're working
situation. Like
with
I guess
a reason
there was
there,
never a
yeah.
lie about where they lived, I guess, but I don't really, I'm not really too invested in a relationship that's we met on Instagram
But
because
like
what because this they said he responded to her stories and then she
mhm.
admits to us that it made her uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, yeah.
What a start to a
That's true.
relationship.
But like I'm not gonna slam Instagram as a way to meet people because like it's what
It's
Instagram or the
weird
apps like
because
it's
it's not a dating profile where like you're swiping and then you both swiped. It's like I saw your profile and thought you were attractive or you
yeah.
had interests that I'm also interested in. Let me start responding to your stories, which is basically like a direct message to a stranger that is not like not swiped on you also, you know. It's weird. It's weird to me. I would not
Well, yeah, I mean there
recommend
is
the
a thing where you
strategy
like
to
have
anybody.
to accept like messages, it's a thing, but like Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird, but like,
It's also
we
weird
live
that
in a
she agreed to
weird
date him,
age.
but
Well,
I'll say that.
I just feel like we live in a weird age where just people meet on apps and it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just old.
I mean, people meet on apps, but not Instagram, right? Like Instagram is
No,
not
people
the
definitely meet on Instagram.
well, clearly
Yes.
they do, but like I don't think it's the normal way to meet on it. Like if you're using an app to meet somebody, it's not Instagram.
I mean, it might not be the app you're using to meet people, but it definitely is a side effect that happens a bunch.
Okay.
So I don't
All right, I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong.
know.
The most
Okay.
I've ever heard people say I met this person on Instagram is on 90 Day Fiance. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know. It happens.
In
but,
my very limited experience, that's what I've seen
Mhm.
the most. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I like this. He pretended to like foods that she liked. That's
Yeah,
a,
that's
that's
not
good.
a
That's a good way to build a relationship on lies.
it's not a good move. I
Good
don't
start.
It's not good. No, yeah.
It's
yeah.
not that it's like that bad, but it's like it's just like a gateway to
Mhm.
bigger problems. Like you need
Yeah,
a lie that
yeah.
you don't like this meal when you meet somebody. Like you're that worried. Like if they are gonna not like you because of your opinion on one type of meal, like
Mhm.
guess what? You don't want to be with that person. If it's such a big deal to you that they need their person they're dating to like a very specific food.
Yeah. And it's just like if it is so easy to like lie about something that is so meaningless,
Yeah.
it just feels like it's
Yeah,
going to be so easy to lie about other things.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
do not need to develop a pattern here. No, thank you.
Yeah.
That being said, they show a lot of pictures of them in the past and they look cute as hell together.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Juwan is a great Juwan does seem like he's a great cook.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the one that's like she said like she'd be like, I want this for dinner, and he would just like make it.
Make it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Who
Okay.
doesn't love that?
They dated for 3 Christmases.
Yes.
That's how I wrote the long 2020, 2021, and 2022. So I think we find out they've only been broken up for 5 months coming into the show.
Yes. They were together for 3 years, but there was like a 5-month breakup in the middle there.
Oh, there
somewhere.
was? I missed the breakup.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's about time for them to get back together again, I guess.
Yeah, what the hell?
If they have a pattern.
Why is it the same pattern as with the
I don't
Dungeon
know.
and Hunt? Yeah. That is suspicious. Okay. They almost showed them kissing in like a memory video. That was like, I was like, oh, are they about to do it?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then they didn't. I was like, oh my
They
god,
got
that was like the
away.
closest we've ever seen on these Korean shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a little excited about that. It wasn't even. I think why they almost showed it because it was like a very like cutesy kiss. It wasn't like
mm-hmm.
they weren't like
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make
It
out or
was
anything,
intense
but,
or anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they still didn't show it. They got close, but we didn't get to see.
So yeah, they say that they got along because they were different, but it started to like fuck with them because their like communication styles are different. She likes to take some time and think over things before discussing, and he's just like, we need to talk about it now.
Yeah. Long story short, these two people are not compatible with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet, I wrote in my notes even before they got into all the that stuff. I wrote
Mhm.
another couple to root for not getting back together. Let's go. They both say they didn't break up on bad terms. That's
Well,
the introduction to the
I
story
think-
we get.
Yeah, but she says differently a lot of other times.
Yeah,
Like,
but they both agree. Yeah, we didn't break up on bad terms. And then proceed to talk about the terrible, terrible things they said to each other
Yeah.
before she left, slammed the door, and they never talked again.
pretty much
Blocked
what
him on
happened.
all social media.
Had to get on a
We don't
show
know
to be
bad
able
terms,
to speak
though.
to her again.
They
Yeah.
weren't good, but they weren't bad. It's just normal breakup stuff.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they had their last fight that seemed to be over basically nothing and blew up into a whole big thing. And
Yeah, it
he
was like
said
a
some things
very
to her that she
trivial
really,
shit that happened, and it led to like
Yeah.
a huge argument.
and she's just having trouble getting over those last mean ass words he said to her. And that's pretty much where we're at with them.
It was so detailed and specific, though. I best breakup story we've gotten in the 2 seasons. It was great.
Hmm.
It was great.
So if you're gonna go on a show like this, take notes during your breakup so you can like really get into it and change the love watching.
It's so specific. Like I know
Mhm.
they're not meant for each other. I know. I can be
Yeah,
so sure of it. It's great. I hope it stays that way. I'm very worried.
yeah, I am worried too.
I was feeling so good about Sakyan. Okay, we'll get there. Okay. All right.
Well, in the epilogue at the end, she cuts the ribbon and he does not.
Yeah.
So at least going into it, she was still
good. I was feeling real good about Sokyeon. I was. And now I'm more back to neutral by the end of episode 6, but I was getting excited. Okay. I was like, oh, this is my person now. All right. Oh, we did. Oh, they actually confirmed Ju-won did text Sokyeon on night 1 after the introductions. Yes. She didn't text him. He's very confused why she didn't text him. I think Ju-won is the kind of person that the K-pop industries are catering towards. I think we found one of them.
What do you mean?
He's delusional.
Oh, okay.
He's delusional as hell. He messages random girls on social media.
Well, it worked. I mean, it's not that delusional.
Yeah, but he's the person that would go out and burn his like K-pop group stuff when somebody finds out this person's in a relationship. I can't believe it. I was gonna marry them. They betrayed me to the maximum.
He is basically like, okay, I see how it is now. Forget it. I'm just gonna date other girls and like hard turns after this argument.
You think so?
He is.
I think
that's what he
changed.
says, and then he does.
Something interesting happened on night 4 that might have changed his mind, changed his tune a little bit. Which is
okay.
He got 2 texts from not his ex. Little exciting. Yeah. Oh, 2 other women are interested in me. It's okay. We don't have to worry about
even
that.
Even during the day
right
of day 4, like he was like, I don't know, chatting with people. At least she was noticing it and feeling some sort of way about it.
Well, he got forced to have a date with. He had a date with Yoo-jung, and then he was forced to have a date with the new girl. So there was a whole like vibe because of that. But yeah, he dated 2 people, and he's saying I'm not as worried about. Not as worried about making his ex feel bad all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very out on this guy.
Yeah, I am disappointed in him. I didn't think he was going to be this guy. There he is,
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, he does not cut the string.
He does not cut the string.
Which at least is consistent with he invited her, so.
Do we want to talk about his date with the new girl?
Yes, then he dates the new girl.
Okay.
Let's do that date. New girl chooses Ju-won for the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. They're going to go get some food.
Yes. They both really love soccer.
Yeah. I get the vibe, though, that like she likes to play soccer, and I don't know if he ever said that.
Yeah, he might just be a fan of soccer, which is
I really like
so different.
Yeah, she picked him because he likes going to amusement parks. That was like the most interesting thing that one of the guys said, so that's why she picked her.
Yeah, she wanted to find the most cheerful and energetic person, and amusement park spoke to that.
That also makes it seem like Kwante's her ex, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't able to pick up on who was her ex in the thing if she was trying to. Or again, maybe she wasn't allowed, like you were saying. And we just aren't.
Yeah, I don't think she was trying to go for him, but she does definitely
maybe
like
he wasn't.
the type of person that he is.
But the most cheerful and energetic person is Kwante, right? Like that's
out
of the guys in the house, yeah. I'll still say he's not here, but we'll see. Okay. I said Ju-won might be a miss on the cheerful and energetic, but we're coming off of a bad night with Ju-won. So.
Yeah. That's gonna color.
Ju-won claims that she made a good decision.
So she talks about how I think she brought a bunch of board games for the house, and I'm like,
board game girl.
I like this girl.
They're gonna play Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be stuff that happens during a Mafia game. We don't get. We don't actually have to watch them play Mafia, but yeah.
It's just happening in the background, but
they go to an arcade. Arcade Date was fun to watch. I liked Arcade Date.
Oh yeah. Ooh, and she drove, and he told her that like she drove really well, and I'm like, well, if these shows have taught me anything, that means that they're going to be together at the end, right? Like he's super impressed with her driving, therefore relationship.
Oh, was he super impressed? I only picked up on the line where he was like, I've never been in a car with a woman driver before.
Well, yeah, he says that, and then later he's like, oh, yeah, you're a good driver. I was like, oh, okay. So this must be it.
Did she do the rear view old school strat with the chest thrusting?
She didn't do that, but I think she did do like some backing up down and some impressive parking.
Oh.
So
maybe.
There you go. We're never going to see them together again in a way that makes sense for the rest of the season, and then they're going to pick each other at the end. That's now my prediction, because driving has that effect, apparently.
Legit though, like how many women do you think Ju-won has dated in his life?
Well, we don't know how old he is. They were together for 3. I mean,
I
at
want to
least
say
like
one. I want to say one.
I want to say like probably 3.
He doesn't seem like a guy that's dated a lot of women. I'll say that.
I'm gonna say he had an awkward high school girlfriend.
None of them drove.
I mean, if you live in Seoul, you might not drive. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were both competitive, so the arcade date was fun to watch.
Yes. But she did sense that at a certain point he was letting her win, and she did not like it.
Yeah. She said she didn't like it, but I couldn't say if she was like playfully like I liked it, but I also wish I beat him with
Yeah, like she still liked the date, but like she wants a legitimate competition.
I think she also would have been disappointed if she didn't win anything though. So it was like a lose-lose.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. The hosts really think her ex is Quante. So that's just not true, and I refuse to believe it.
I think it's totally true.
Nah.
I only think that makes sense.
Nah. You can't fool me twice.
Okay.
Can't fool me.
We'll see.
All right. Somehow though, Ju-won says after the date that he was thinking about Yoo-jung the most. Bro is confused and I'm confused. I'm out.
Well,
who cares what he likes?
He had put in laundry and she moved it to the dryer for him.
Oh.
So she could do her own laundry.
So she touched his under business is what we're talking about right now.
Well, I was going with she did a chore for him, therefore that's what he wants. I don't know.
Women doing chores is pretty hot.
Gross. Gross. But yeah, I guess they had been cooking together the day before or whatever, so you know they've been interacting a little bit.
Okay.
And I think he does actually ask her out for lunch at this point, but I don't think they set a time or a date or whatever, so it's still a little vague because she sets up a different date for the next day.
He does? Or she does?
Yeah, he asked her out for lunch.
He saw Songjong out for lunch.
No, he asked Yoo-jung out for lunch.
Oh, Yoo-jung. We're still talking about... Oh, yeah. I thought
but you said he was thinking about Yoo-jung the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he is going to talk about it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I must have had that in my Yoo-jung notes. Okay. Sorry. What were you saying?
That he asked her out for lunch.
I'm still recovering from me saying women doing chores are hot.
Okay.
I'm still recovering
Fair.
from having said that.
But yeah, he asked her out for lunch, but they didn't like set a date or a time because like later she gets asked out for a different date she gets asked for like 2 other dates for the next day. So I'm not exactly sure which of those she's going on.
She's definitely on the Dongjin one.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she also got a Quante invite to a date at some point too.
Yeah, Quante like asked her out, but then backed off very quickly.
Well, he was like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And she's like, "I'm busy."
I have
He's
plans in the morning, and he was like, "I know what that means. Just never mind." And he was like, "Well, there's other times of the day," and he's like, we'll see." I don't know. I feel like he could have definitely made plans with her, and he didn't really go all in. So he's like being proactive, but I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thinks his afternoon is already booked.
Somebody came to me and was like, "So you doing anything tomorrow?" I was like, "Well, I'm not free from this time to this time." And then they were like, "Oh, okay," and then didn't follow up. I'd be like, "What the hell? What the hell was that?"
Well, then I would just assume that they had something specific.
Are you busy
during
the rest
time
of the day? Like,
busy.
what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's not the smoothest move. He goes there, but
I want to talk about Songjong, the rest of her experience. If you're done with Ju-won.
I mean, there is a thing that happens, but maybe that's more of a Seokyeon moment. So sure.
Okay, Songjong. She eventually gets back to the house. She comes in. Doorbell rings. It's not a letter. It's Songjong, and it's very exciting. So she gets to meet everybody. She comes in like in the middle of dinner. I feel like they did this last time too, and I'm like, this is so weird. Like, can't they just come in before dinner starts?
Awkward. Exactly.
When she gets to the house, says she likes Hui-hyun the most based on first impressions. Okay. She likes it because she also is currently going to Korean university, or she went to Korea University. I couldn't tell if she's still studying.
It sounded like she might still go there, but she's got 2 jobs, so I don't know.
But she likes that they go to the same school,
Mm-hmm.
and he's closest to her type. It's almost as if maybe her ex isn't here.
Okay. Or maybe she's just not into her ex. Or maybe the question they asked is, who are you most attracted to other than your ex?
Yeah, that's true. Who's the closest to your type that's not your ex? And then just leave that out.
Yeah.
All right. I will admit, based on the edit, Quante did seem a bit quieter than usual.
He hid on the 2nd floor for most of the evening.
No, he was just shook that another girl entered the house and it wasn't his ex, and now he's worried. Did something happen? Is she dead?
Why would he worry? He would just add her to the list of women he's asking what they're doing tomorrow.
His ex is in the house. He can't ask her. She might be dead, and that's why she's not on the show. Like, he's worrying about, where's my ex?
I don't think. I just. He's been so carefree so far. I don't think
that's the angle the hosts aren't talking about. It must be true.
Okay.
I just wrote, is he maybe he's just confused why his ex isn't there? He's thrown off. I don't know. It would make a lot of sense if Quante's ex is Sancte, but they're talking about too much. Talking about too much.
Okay. At some point, they will just have nothing else to say but the right thing, and so it's either
when there's like 2 options left, they'll get it right.
Yeah, there are like 2 options left right now. They'll get it right.
I mean, when there's 2 people left, they'll get it right. Right now, there's 2 options, and they're not talking about one of them, which is that her ex is not in the house.
Okay, whatever. I don't believe you, but sure.
She was walking barefoot around the house. Did you notice that? Like, everybody's very committed to the slippers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she switched to slippers, but like the first night, nobody was like, because in past seasons we've seen like, oh, you're not wearing slippers? Let me show you where the slippers are. We didn't get that at all. It's just like,
yeah.
She was walking around with no slippers.
I did not notice that. Okay.
And she's going to be rooming with Dahye and Yoojong. And the third bed is huge.
Big bed. Yeah, they're stuck in teeny bunk beds.
Yeah. Are the guys non-bunk beds that big? Probably not.
Yes.
Oh, they are?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unlucky bunk bed situation.
Yep.
Why did the show specifically want the women to be in the bunk beds? I'm still confused.
Because I feel like other times we've had bunk beds, it has also been women. I think they like that it looks young and cutesy.
So on Heart Signal, what they do is like they put all the women in the same room, and then that room has to be bunk beds. But
yeah, but did they have to do that?
On Transit
They could have put the men in the same room. I think it literally is like some low-key sexism. It's just like, oh, they look so cute and like little innocent girls in bunk beds or whatever.
I mean, last season we didn't. Last season on Transit Love, the guys got the bunk bed.
Did they?
When they seemed like they were allowed to choose. Yeah, it was Tae.
All right, I take it back.
Wongjin. And then I think on Heart Signal, it tends to be like they give the women like the bigger like walk-in closet. Like they essentially give the women like the master bedroom, but then they make them all sleep in there. Is what it always seems to me. And then bunk beds like make sense for that.
I guess.
But in this situation, I don't.
But these are small rooms.
Yeah, they're all the same room to me, so I don't know why the women were forced to be bunk bed people. So women, we like women in boxes doing chores. That's what we like.
Gross.
That's just what we've been talking about. That's what's come up on the podcast so far.
Okay. Well, not in boxes,
I'm just
but
recapping,
like looking like cutesy little innocent girls or something. You know, like children live in bunk beds, not a grown ass women. I don't know.
Oh, like the guys, these really buff macho guys. They're too big for the bunk beds.
Sure, maybe
that could literally be what they're thinking. Like
they like can't fit them in
two
there.
Pretty muscular guys that won't fit in these bunk beds, so we'll make the women sleep in them. That might. I mean, that doesn't totally not make sense if that's what they were thinking.
It's much kinder than what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, you were thinking about it very negatively.
But I did forget that literally last season the guys were in bunk beds, so that's my bad.
They were not the buff guys though last season.
That's true.
There was one buff guy that joined late, but he didn't have to sleep in a bunk bed.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Buffer guy, taller guy. All right. What's next? What's next?
We gonna go on another date?
One of these dates they saved for like episode 5, and I was like, maybe they're just not going to show it. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Is there like a main character that we need to save for last? I don't really care.
No.
Okay, Quante.
I think we do the Quante Seokyeon date.
Quante and Seokyeon. Let's do their date. All right, we're going to the library.
Anything important before the date? Oh, she wakes up feeling sick.
Yeah.
And he went on that run. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so they go on a library date, but they're not gonna go in the library.
It's not actually a library
Because
date. It's just a
Quante didn't go in
outside.
the library with his ex. It was
I
just
was very disappointed.
you wanted them to go in the library. Oh, okay.
Yeah, library dates are great, but no, this
Yeah.
was just
It's probably really
outside.
conducive to like
TV.
filming
I know,
people
fine,
talk
sure.
quietly. Yeah.
I just get excited when people go places with books or board games or, like nerdy shit. It's my jam.
They've gone to comic books like kind of stores before, right? We've seen that.
Yeah.
But
There've been
that's
like
less of
bookstore
a
dates. Those are great too.
people read there, but they're less like you
You
must
don't
be
have to be
quiet.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. But Quante also didn't go in the library with his ex.
Yeah.
He just did a photo shoot outside with her.
Yes. Because he had a photographer friend who wanted to like practice doing a couple shoot. And he had a female model and went, hey, friend of mine, come be the male model for the other half of this couple.
Oh, here we go. I figured it out. His friend, the photographer, is going to be a participant on the show.
Okay.
And they both dated Yu Jung. Oh, let's go. Now we're getting spicy.
I mean, I am all about the double X.
How
option.
did the photographer friend know Yu Jung? Like they were friends. Like he was friends with. It's because they were exes.
Yeah, because there's no way to know a woman unless you have dated her. Of course, obviously.
Not in the narrative I'm building in this to make this TV show even better. Okay.
But so this photographer went, hey, take some pictures next to my girlfriend, and then he stole her away from him.
They were already exes at the time.
No.
Oh no, you think they were
still
dating, but then Yu Jung saw Quante and was like, ditches the photographer for Quante. Oh, that's good.
I mean, if we're going dramatic.
That's real good.
Anyway, they took some pictures outside this library. That's their first time they met.
Yeah. She has also been to the library with her ex before. This is Seokhyun, though. Seokhyun has been to the same library with Juwon.
Yes.
All right.
And they just kind of walk outside.
They don't go in the library, so they go instead. They walk to like an espresso bar, right?
Mm-hmm. And they take some photos of each other with like the weirdest looking giant foam child toy looking camera I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what is up with it, but
and then this is where Seokhyun gets good. So all this happened before some stuff later with Seokhyun, but I was really feeling Seokhyun.
Okay.
Here, because they got to go to a bar also after the espresso bar, then real bar. The menu has like a cartoon squirrel on it, right? Quante looks at the menu and then looks at Seokhyun and says, "You kind of look like a squirrel." Seokhyun immediately says, "Yes, I resemble rodents."
It was hilarious.
So she's making me laugh. She's making me laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
Then Seokhyun is like pouring the drinks, and she's like, "How much should I pour?" And then Quante's like, "As much as you are interested in me." So Quante's a little bit too much, but I appreciate his proactiveness on the show. So I was also thinking about this. I feel like this happens a lot when we watch these shows, where I'm like this guy's too much for me or whatever. But like ultimately, when like stuff like this happens, I think this is true. Like of anybody that like is flirting with you or hitting on you or whatever, it's like it comes across as like weird or like creepy if you're not attracted to the person. But if you are attracted to the person, it's actually nice. But I'm just like 100%. I'm never attracted to the guys on this show, so I'm always like, he's over the top for me. But like, if I was on the show and Dahye is like saying all these things to me, I'd probably be all about it. You know, it's like
exactly, yes.
So
100%.
I realize like every time I'm like, I'm not really feeling this guy's flirting strategy. It's like because I'm not interested in him at all. You know? So it makes sense, yeah. So I'm gonna try to not knock him too hard, but it's a little cringe to watch for me. She doesn't fill the glass that high after he says that. Also great. True. Also great. And then they start
And,
talking about Dongjin, right? Or something. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
well, I was gonna say they start talking about their hearts beating.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
they're like,
happened.
"Oh,
That's happened several times in these 3 episodes. Like it's
like
whenever they're
my heart is
drinking.
beating so fast or whatever," and so then they like try to feel each other's pulses on their wrists and like on their own wrists, and then he like goes to feel it on her wrist, and then she's like, "No, you have to feel it up here," and she like touches her neck, and then he touches her neck, and then the hosts lose their absolute shit over
I
it.
feel like he was the one that was kind of like, "Let me feel your neck," but then later when they're drinking, it's all about drink. It's just like a thing that people do when they drink. They're like, "Oh, I'm drunk.
I don't know.
I drunk so much that my pulse is insane right now."
This is not a thing I've seen before,
Okay,
but that does not
I
mean
don't
it
have
hasn't
experience. I
happened.
don't know if this is normal at all, but I feel like Quante was a little bit of like he brought up like, "Oh, let me feel your neck" or something. But then later when they're drinking as a group, Seokhyun is gonna like ask Kwihyun to like feel her neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel like Kwihyun is the one that she's showed interest in the most.
Ah, yeah.
Other than who did she text?
I have no idea.
Who the heck did she text on night one? I have no idea. Oh, she texted Quante, but it could have just been for the cooking stuff. Oh yeah, and then they start talking about Dongjin.
Uh-huh.
And Seokhyun's like, I think Dongjin is a lot like me. Like we're similar because we're both pretty funny. And then Quante's like, you don't seem that funny to me. I felt like he was like, I don't know, was he joking? I guess he was. I don't know. It was a weird thing to joke about. It was a weird thing to joke about though. But she instantly says like, no, I'm hilarious. It's something about her delivery is so good on all these like
dry
little
and
things.
Yes, I love it.
No, I'm hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I do resemble rodents.
So deadpan. I love it.
I like, but is she like a little like resentful when he says that she looks like a squirrel?
Maybe.
And she's like, yes, I do look like rodents. Like being very like, I'm so glad you just used that compliment on me. Like, very sarcastic.
It gives me big like Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah,
energy,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's great.
It's so good.
So I don't totally feel like she's vibing with Quante, but I don't know for sure. I guess it's hard to read Seokhyun at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I would also love it if this is how she behaves with somebody she's into too. Like that works too.
I can see how it might be hard to communicate with a person like this though. I assumed like by default that she would have not liked, like if I said I don't know why I would have said she looked like a squirrel, but if I said she looked like a squirrel and she said, yes, I do resemble rodents, I'd be like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that's the right response.
But Quante is definitely really flirting hard, as we've illustrated with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we think Quante texted her on night one. I think we can be confident about that now.
Sure.
Okay. And then they both do seem like they would go on a date again. And of course he would, but I at least Seokhyun is saying like, yeah, he did a good job. I'd give him a second date.
Yeah. And they do text each other later, and she says, because she's kind of feeling sick this whole time, her text is, let's meet again when I'm in a good condition. So like, let's go on a date again sometime.
Was she only hilarious because she was too sick to like fake it?
No.
I hope she's still hilarious. Funny when she's not sick.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was really feeling Seokhyun, like I was really entertained.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to talk about Seokhyun or Quante first? Their stories so far.
Either way, whatever.
All right, let's talk about Seokhyun.
Okay.
So Seokhyun gonna have the whole Juwon stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to find her in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost her.
Okay.
I found her. Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, I really liked her. I was like legit laughing out loud watching the whole date with Quante. It was good. I did get the vibe though that like I was thinking at the time that maybe her ex wasn't in the house, but I was getting the vibe that like she wasn't super excited about any of the guys, and then that made me feel like she was gonna be obsessed with her ex.
Yeah,
because sometimes they like if you're not interested in the guys, it's because you're interested in your ex. But so I was kind of worried about that, and then that's kind of how her story is trending now. And it's similar to Hyewon.
I mean, she
story
does,
right?
Well, I mean, the next time they text, I think she's headed in a Quante direction right now. Like,
Who does
There
she
is some like
text?
feelings, but she texts Quante the night of the date and then the next night. And they also set up a date, and like she is feeling some feelings about her ex and like runs off to a bathroom to figure out who she's going to text. And I'm not sure if she was crying in there or not, but like she was having a difficult time choosing between them, but she did ultimately pick Quante.
We're getting like the Hyewan narrative, but she hasn't like switched to texting him.
But I have a bit more faith that she's not necessarily going to roll back to him. Like there's still some options here.
We're getting scenes where like she notices, like she's talking about noticing her ex Juwon with like talking to other girls.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't like carried over. Oh no, it is going to carry over into something weird. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. It's like a little bit of the Hyewan, but it's like the Hyewan story, but she hasn't switched to texting Juwon yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's gonna tell us that she read the X introduction letter 20 times.
Oh, right, yeah.
So yeah, I was like, oh, this is the person I like, and then now I'm worried. I'll be honest. And it's fine. I'm not saying I'm just not as excited. I'm not excited for this storyline again, where it's like, oh, you seem like you're over your ex, but nah. Once you see them with somebody else, the jealousy motivates you, and that's where I feel like it's going. I hope it's not.
Well, I don't know if it's the jealousy so much as that big confrontation to like, then it looks like he is following through on this threat of like, well, forget it, then I'm moving on. And I don't know, like her like having to then actually confront, okay, maybe this is really over, is making her think about things again, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing I really, really, really hate about the narrative is that she didn't text him, didn't text him, didn't text him, didn't text him. Right? Then he's shitty to her.
Yes.
And
she still doesn't text him.
Does she go one round without? Does she?
She doesn't text him.
She goes one round without texting him.
We don't know. She might continue after this. So far, she has not texted him. So I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt for now.
Hold on, I gotta fact check you on this.
I'm looking at my notes on the last text right now. She 100% texts Quante saying she's curious about Hey Bong Chom, which is a place he said he wanted to take her on a date.
Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, Juwon gets 2 texts, but not
from her.
Oh god. Okay.
He gives Yujong and Sejong. They don't know that he's shitty.
Well, regardless, I don't like the narrative that like she wasn't interested in him. And then now we're getting these like confessionals of her thinking about him again after like he was shitty. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Or are we only getting those confessionals now because the show has revealed who her ex is and therefore it's more dramatic now? Maybe it's not an increase in that.
I was starting to think about that recently where like
that's why it hits you, and it's not an accurate representation of how she was feeling the whole time. It's just when they choose to show it to you.
Yeah. Which I still have a problem with. I still have a problem with it.
But that's not a her
like,
problem.
Again, it's
that's
like,
a production
it's like the
problem.
narratives that you don't like where it's like when the guy just keeps badgering her, and then she gives in, and then they match in the end. It's like you don't like that narrative, even if it's a little not accurate, but but they have to make it seem that way for dramatic effect. Like I don't like this narrative of like we didn't have anything between them, and then they had a bickering argument that made it seem like they're terrible for each other, and after that, she's interested. It's like I don't like it. I don't like watching it, but that's where we're at. But you're right. She probably was noticing things the whole time.
Yeah,
and we just weren't seeing it. Yeah, you're probably right.
But the important thing is she didn't text him after he pitched a fit about her not texting him. She's standing strong. I like her.
Yeah, she's at least interested enough in somebody else. Yeah, to keep it going. I think that it is better than the Hyewan. Hyewan just might not be interested in other people, and that she's like, oh, just default back to X, and okay. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, she has Hui Hyun check her pulse on her neck, so she's got a couple of things going on. Yeah.
She does bond with him also about how they like girl idol groups, so that's fun.
Oh, that was fun. Because Hui Hyun's favorite group is Twice, which is my favorite group. And then they get this whole conversation of like, because Hui Hyun admits like, oh yeah, my ex was a little jealous that I liked all the girl K-pop groups. But then Seokhyun is like, oh, I wouldn't have a problem with that or something, right?
Yeah, he gives her a hypothetical of like, well, what if he had to cancel a date because he got tickets to a show? And she's like, well, he already got the tickets, right? He should go. And then he's like, what if it's like an anniversary or something, like your 100-day anniversary? And she's like, well, we'll just go together. And he's just like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah. She was like, I mean, the bad scenario is like, we had plans, you didn't have a ticket, but then you bought a ticket without asking me.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's the unreasonable
yeah.
scenario. But it's like, yeah, if they're in town or for whatever, or one night, and it happens to be on a again 100-day dating day. Come on, we can celebrate 101. It's okay. We can celebrate 99. Your choice. Together. 99 or 101. Which one's cooler?
No, you celebrate 100 with twice. That's so much better.
That's true too. But even if she wasn't into going to twice,
yeah,
you know, it's like
some people are real strict about like important days, but
and those people.
The important part is she likes girl groups and is chill.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was still feeling Seokhyun. I'm not cutting Seokhyun's string. I'll say that. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, definitely not.
I was like doubling, tripling up that string, so it was going to resist being cut. And now I'm like, it's just one string again.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I was protecting that string, and then I stopped.
Just because production tricked you.
Oh, they got me. Yeah. Okay, so in the truth game though, they did the whole thing with like you fold your fingers, but then they ran out of fingers. So then it just turned into like truth. It wasn't. It was like truth or drink, but you couldn't really drink. But instead of like specifically asking somebody a question, it was like hypothetical, or like you would ask a question, but then you would spin the bottle, and then whoever it pointed to had to answer the question. So you could control the rest of the question. But the one time somebody was like, "Oh, can I choose who I ask the question to?" It was Seokhyun, and she specifically asked Juwon why he broke up with his ex.
Yeah.
Because I guess she wanted to hear why he thinks they broke up. Because
I mean,
they didn't talk like about it. Just
they never spoke again after that argument.
Yeah, it's like they just stormed out and never talked again. Why do you think we broke up? I did not write down what he wrote.
He said that they broke up over silly pride because neither of them were able to just say they're sorry after a dumb argument.
Oh, this is the point of my notes. Yeah, because this was before the extra reveal. This is the point of notes where I wrote like, okay, is she his ex? Like, what scenario are you specifically calling out a person in a game where you haven't done that? And then your question is, how did you break up with your ex? Like,
yeah,
like if you liked somebody,
it's what do I have to look forward to? Like, what's your breakup style?
No, but you wouldn't ask them, like, you just wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be like, hey, how did you break up with your ex? Because I plan on dating you and having you break up with me, and I want to know how it's going to go.
Or I want to see if you're childish and don't know how to handle relationships.
I mean, if they told the truth, it would seem that way. But they're just not compatible people, so it doesn't reflect how another relationship would necessarily go. Which is why I think a lot of this, let's have our exes introduce each other to each other, isn't very valuable information.
Yeah.
Because they are more likely than not an introduction for somebody who is not compatible with the person.
Yeah.
All right, then here's where it gets spicy, Sarah.
Oh?
They're playing Mafia.
Uh-huh. Oh, right? Yes.
And some people are confused about the rules. Some people are like, all right, wait, am I a faithful? Am I a traitor? No, I'm a faithful. You guys are confused. And then Seokhyun, she needs to go walk across the room and whisper in Song Jong's ear. Also, Song Jong's one of the girls that she's been noticing talking to Juwon.
Mm-hmm. And she is, in fact, sitting next to Juwon right now.
They need to communicate something that's very, very important to the game. Very
so
important. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of room to get around this table. So she's gonna have to cut, like, Juwon's like a little off the table, so she can't really go around. She has to like go in between his legs and the table. And then she goes, and then she slips a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely trips over Quante. Mm-hmm.
Accidentally,
yep, believe it.
Sits directly on Juwon's lap. Oops.
And then goes, "Oops! Oh no! I slipped. I didn't. I definitely didn't mean to do that."
This is one of the greatest power moves I've ever seen in the history of Korean dating television that I've watched.
You seem excited about it, even though I would think you would hate it.
No, this is too good.
Okay.
This is like
Cause
this is power flirting, which we don't get a lot of. We don't
and
get a
not
lot of.
just that, but
We don't
like
get flirting that's like, oops, sat
marking
on
her
your lap.
territory
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Like, because it's in front of everyone, right next to a girl he's been flirting with. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm not rooting for them to get back together, but my God, this is great.
It was an excellent move.
I mean, if if you want a guy to feel a certain way about you, accidentally sit on their lap. It might work. Might get them thinking
Might
about
work.
you a little bit. All right. So yeah, I think we might have an indication of where this might be going. Now, if we get more power moves like this along the way, maybe it'll be worth it. But
maybe.
in general, I don't like the storyline where it's going. But
what if she just
that
turns
was
that
great.
around on somebody else she liked? That would be better.
I'm here for that too.
Like,
I'm here. That's even better.
that'd be great.
And he like sees it too. That'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for more power moves by her, regardless of what
Yeah,
regardless
that'd
of
be
who. Well, I prefer some people over
We have a
others, but
preference. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Sakyun. I had a very roller coaster ride with Sakyun on this. I was up, I was down. Power move, I was a little more up, but I'm probably higher on her. I'm probably higher on her than where I started, but I was higher. Like I was higher in episode 5 than episode 6. Okay.
I like her a lot. I just hope she keeps strong, stays away from this boy who's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit on his lap and then don't get back with him. Let's do that.
Even greater power move.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm here for it. He deserves it. I like making bold emotional statements this season. Do you like it?
It's fun.
Okay. All right. I hope the audience is here for it. Are we talking about Did we talk about Quante yet?
No, we did not.
How long have we been talking? Oh my God, this is gonna be such a long podcast.
It's okay. We can do this. We can pull this through. What else does he do other than ask everyone out on a date? Not everyone, but like
yeah. Oh, he tells the
almost
guys.
Everyone?
He like tells all the guys when they're like waiting for the women to get back from the X room. He's like, just so you guys know, like I don't care like who your ex is. Like I'm gonna go for the girl that I'm interested in.
Oh yeah. He's not here to make friends.
I guess it's like I agree with the sentiment, but you don't have to like go out of your way to tell the guys.
Exactly.
Like
you just go, oops, again, it's like sorry, dated
it's
your
like
ex.
a weird vibe from Quante, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the run.
Yeah,
I thought they were very cute together, but again, the Dahye, I'm not really buying the romantic vibes of this.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole let's not talk about this when we get back to the house thing. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, there's a second part where he ends up like Dahye like runs away from an interaction with Dongjin or something, like she doesn't, I forget exactly what it is, but she ends up upstairs so she doesn't have to like cry in front of anybody, basically, right?
That's at the very end, right? Of episode 6.
Yeah. But it's related to this. So, but Quante finds her again and does another pep talk, and that felt more like, oh, this is definitely like they're just good buddies. I think any potential of romance between them is non-existent at this point.
Yeah, Quante's like her emotional support friend. He does not ask her out. Like Quante's gonna ask out 3 girls, but
3 women.
He has out 3 of the 4 women, and Dahye is not one of them. Not the one. But here we go. No, we have to talk about this. This is very important.
Okay.
This is very important.
Okay. Yes.
Quante and Dongjin, they're cooking in the kitchen together.
Yes.
This is very important.
Yes.
The 2 buff guys, and then they're like, let's put on some aprons and show off our cannons. So the 2 buff guys are wearing aprons in the kitchen. Everybody's like, oh my God, let's go check them out in the kitchen. Everybody's got to see this and make a whole big thing. So it's fun. It's going fun, right? And then the show puts these words on my TV screen as we have this image of these 2 buff guys in aprons cooking in the kitchen. they look powerful from behind as they cut the meat. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it did say that. Yep.
Incredible. I'm here for it.
Yep. Good
I'm
job,
here
Joe.
for it. Why did it have to say from behind?
Because they
It
were
was like,
facing away at the
yeah,
time.
it was like, this is the best shot we have, and they're not facing the camera. All right, just put it at the bottom of the screen, from behind. And make sure you use the word me. I don't know how the Korean translation is as hilarious, but I imagine it's pretty close to the same thing.
Yeah, I gotta hope it is. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was awesome. Kwante is going to tell us he's interested in Seokhyun the most and Yoo-jung the second.
Yes.
Either his ex is really low on the list, or she's not here yet. Or the question was,
who are you into other than your ex? Yeah.
All right. He's going to ask both of them on dates in episode 4.
Yes.
Seokhyun and Yoo-jung. Wait, does he also ask? Wait, Seokhyun, Yoo-jung, who am I forget?
Well, he didn't.
Wait, did he ask a third girl? Am I making that up, or is it only 2?
I mean, he asked Jae for a run, and that's almost like
I thought on day 4 he asked 3 women on a date. I think I made that up. It's only 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Seokhyun and Yoo-jung. He only asked 2 women on a date. He kind of does it based on convenience though. So he asks Yoo-jung first, and then Yoo-jung's like, "Oh, I have plans in the morning," and then they don't talk further about other times of the day. But then he's gonna ask Seokhyun later.
Well, he asked her. I think he asked her first. He's like, "There's this place I want to go. Hey, Bongchong, I think it was."
He was not specific about the day at that time.
Yeah,
but he was like, "I'd like to go to this place." Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have this conversation where they're talking about like women-led dates, like the women picking places and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, I'd like you to lead me," or something.
I'd like you
and
to
then like
lead me, if you know what I'm saying.
His text to her, is literally just "please lead me," and I'm like, okay, this took a turn. And then so after the texting, he comes to her and he's like, "Let's go on a date tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?" And she's like, "Oh, we'll go the place you wanted to go." He's like, No, the text I sent you." She's like, "Oh, you mean you want me to?" He's like, "Yes." "Please lead me."
Kwante's strategy though is like, "Are you doing anything tomorrow?" Like that's he like sets up himself to like bring in the day. I guess that's fairly normal.
Yeah. He's not like, "Hey, do you want to go somewhere sometime in the future or whatever?" He's just like, "Hey, tomorrow, let's go do a thing."
I would be like so forward if I was on the show.
Why? What would you do?
I'd just be like, "Hey, do you want to do something together tomorrow?" Like he starts out being
is
like,
that not essentially what he's doing?
No, but he's being
basically?
like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" To like I guess it gives them the chance to like be like, "Oh, I'm totally busy," so he doesn't have to feel like
rejected properly.
Rejected.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a little bit different than how I would do it.
Okay.
Because it's like they would probably assume, like, if you're Yoo-jung, you would probably assume that he was working his way to asking her on a date. But then he doesn't, and that makes it like even weirder. Whereas like if you just start and be like, "Hey, I'm asking you to hang out," or "I'm asking you to go on a date," and then if they have plans, it's like, "All right, at least she knows that I asked her on a date." Like that's still progress, you know? I don't know. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Yoo-jung's like, that was weird. Okay. This is the very end of episode 6, and I feel like this is fake drama, but I guess it's gonna lead to something. Because like there's a whole thing where like Seokhyun goes to bed and she told people about like these face masks that she uses and she was gonna get them for them, but then she has to go to bed, and then everybody's like, "Where are the face masks?"
And she forgot to bring them down or something.
Kwante's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll go talk to her." And then he goes and talks to her.
And that's when he asks her out.
Yeah, he's asking her out like when she's like a little embarrassed about having her face mask on and stuff. It's kind of Kwante's is like consistently awkward, I feel like. But then as he's like leaving the room, that's when like Yoo-jung like walks up the stairs, and I guess we're supposed to believe that like she overheard it.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that she overheard it, but she at least noticed that something was happening.
Yeah, in the preview, there was definitely, it looked like a scene between him and Yoo-jung, and she's says something about that. Oh, am I just like your second option?
Yeah.
Or am I your backup plan?
Yeah. See, the thing is, I feel like Yu-jung seems really smart to me, and picking up on all like the texting stuff, and like she's noticing like, yeah, he straight lied to my face. So she seems smart to me. I feel like her saying that to him could be totally unrelated to this like walk by that we got at the end of episode 6, because basically,
that's true.
Basically, Yu-jung gets 3. I think she gets 3 texts, or is it 3 or 2?
At what point?
At the end.
At the end?
No. Sorry.
She gets 1.
Sorry, she gets 1. Okay, Yu-jung. This is what it is. We haven't got to Yu-jung, but basically, Yu-jung on day 4 gets asked out on a date by 3 guys.
Yeah,
but she only gets
text.
1 text, and she knows it's from Dongjin, or at least she believes it's from Dongjin. So that makes her feel like, even though the 2 other guys are asking her out on dates, that she must be the backup girl. To most likely, she believes it's their exes, because like if they're asking her on a date but they're not texting her, they must be texting their ex. Is her logic. That's not actually true necessarily.
But it is a reasonable assumption.
It is reasonable to think like, oh, I might be the backup girl, even though he's asking me out on a date. And the date might just be convenient, and now I guess what we're supposed to believe here is like, oh, she's seeing him like ask out another girl on the same day that she also asked him out. So I don't know. It's like something, but I feel like she might have gotten there without even hearing anything of this conversation. But they made a dramatic end. They made a dramatic ending of the show out of it. Yeah. I guess it's fair. You don't want to feel like the backup person. Ultimately, I feel like if you're interested in Quante, you go on the date, right?
Yeah.
Regardless.
It's real early.
But she seems very sensitive to like any minor thing that, which is fair. Possible. I complain about minor shit all the time.
And she's got options.
I'm right there with you. Maybe I should be rooting for Yu-jung, but her ex will show up at some point, and who knows what'll happen. Okay, are we up to Yu-jung yet? I think Yu-jung was the last date. Do you want us to do them now anyway? Screw it.
I mean, order doesn't matter. Sure, like we've got 2 dates left. Pick one. All
right, let's do Yu-jung because we're talking about Yu-jung and Hui-hyun.
Yes.
This didn't. We didn't get to see this till episode 5. This was a shorter date than the other ones. So yeah, they went to Korean University, which we talked about, right? Looks like a very nice campus. We've heard about Korean University. I've not seen it until now. Yeah. It looked very nice.
It is. It's one of the like high-ranking universities that. Yeah. So it's a big deal that he is in there, probably, even though he's like, no, I definitely didn't go here.
Yeah. Hui-hyun texted Yu-jung on day 2, so he switched. We find that out. He switched from his ex to Yu-jung.
And she wasn't sure that it was actually him, but they talk about that and clear that up here.
Oh, okay. He seems really into her, as do all the guys.
She was not thrilled when she saw it was going to be him on this date.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Do we find out that Yu-jung broke up with her ex? We don't know her ex, but she broke up with him. And she says something like, our future looked blurry to me over time. Or at least this is what she told Hui-hyun when it came up. They decided to talk about their exes.
Well, I think, like, does anybody ever say, my ex broke up with me because of reasons? Like, they're always like, oh, yeah, we broke up because of this reason. And so I don't know that anybody ever cops to actually being the person who got dumped.
I think that's true, like, but they would just say, like, we broke up. I feel like Yu-jung was more like, I broke up with him because I couldn't see our future together, basically.
Although sometimes translations of pronouns
that's true.
is weird because people don't always use pronouns in Korean.
That's true. Yeah, so we're not 100%
They just like,
I got the vibe.
Chop that shit off.
Yeah, I got the vibe that she broke up, but we'll see. It was a shorter date. It wasn't bad.
It looks like they're having fun. Like they're laughing a lot. He's complimenting her all over the place.
I don't think she's really into it, personally.
Yeah, I think she does believe that he still goes to school here.
Yeah, she probably knows
thinks he's probably younger and is not really vibing. Yeah. But she does say that, like, in a confessional, like, she admits that she wasn't, looking forward to this date at first, but, like, they had a much better time than she was anticipating. So at least it went well from that perspective.
She says the nice things. If a guy, you have to go on the date, right? So it's like, you don't really want to, as long as the guy's nice, you're not going to shit on him.
I guess. Sure.
If you have a,
depends on the person,
Yeah, I mean,
some people are sassier than
how
others.
horrible would you have to be? How horrible would the guy have to be like, like he had to go on this date with me, but I'm gonna really like make him look
I mean,
real
it doesn't
bad.
have to
I don't know.
be terrible. It could just be like, yeah, we went on a date, we had a nice enough time, but I did not feel a spark. Like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
all.
that she might have said that when he
That's true.
yeah. Yeah, that would be nice to know, I guess, but it's a little more interesting, I guess. Because he's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
into her, so I
Hmm.
don't know if that's gonna go away. All right. Let's talk about Yu Jong.
Okay.
All right. Host thought Juwon and Yu Jong were exes, so hey, the system still
Hmm.
works. We're on fire.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
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 they
yeah.
had that kitchen scene together, like we talked about. They also
Hmm.
guessed Quante, and then I was like, okay, her ex definitely isn't in the house. We've guessed everybody now. It's over.
Hmm.
Or is it? Ah, whatever. I was thinking maybe are they selling the Quante new girl thing so hard that it's actually going to reverse back around to it's Yu Jung the whole time? But nah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, she gets out on 3 dates on day 4. Juwon, Dongjin, Quante.
Hmm.
Dongjin's the only one that they actually solidify like 10 a.m. or something.
Plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does it right away. Like he in the group chat room asks like if anybody's into her or if anybody's text her. Well, it comes out that like most of the guys are into her, so he's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta do something about this." So
Yeah.
when he asks her out, he's immediately like, "Okay, at this time, then we'll go." Got it? Yeah, he's being strategic about this.
He was pretty good too because like he didn't actually have a specific plan in mind, but he was
Yeah.
very like let's nail a time down where we're gonna get in the car with each other. I'll figure out the rest.
Hmm.
I'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The important thing is not the activity, it's being together, you know?
yeah. This is the point where I was impressed by the proactiveness of the guys this season at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Do we need to get more women asking the guys though?
Oh,
Have
absolutely.
we gotten? Has there been one woman that asked the guys so far this season? I don't think so.
No.
The woman asking the guys tends to happen like once. I feel like the woman like kind of knows they're not number one. Then they feel like
Mm,
they have to do something. I feel like that's when we get it. But
yeah,
they
that's true.
operate under the like traditional, the tradition of the guys only ask until it gets to that point, which is
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah, like we said, Yu Jong feels like she might be the second option for the 2 guys that didn't text her,
Mhm.
which is fair and I think
Yeah.
very intuitive.
Yeah.
Smart. I don't think I would have thought that far. I would have said, "Hey, this cute girl asked me on a date. Let's go."
Which is also
Why
a fair
not?
way to approach it.
Yeah, also totally fair. I mean, I'm not gonna be that devastated when I finds out I'm on a TV show with exes and they choose their ex over me. But maybe Yu
Mhm.
Jong would, and she doesn't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then we got Hui Hun. Is there anything else on Yu Jong? Sorry.
You just she spent a lot of time with Juwon, I feel like is the thing. Like that's the, story we're getting told a lot. Is there's like she seems interested in him. She's like following him around when he's cooking and stuff,
That's it. I feel like it's weird to me. Like I feel like Yu Jung's perspective is not very solid, and I feel like she isn't very committed
Mm.
to anybody. Did we get any of her like this is my number one guy so far? I don't think we got anything like that.
No, but like all we do get of her are
Oh, it's her
these
text. Who does she text?
cooking scenes and then her texts.
Yeah, so
Let's
she's texting
see.
Juwon at least, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Juwon, because Juwon gets a text from Yujung and Sung Jung.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
On the last night, and
okay.
then
It's
like
the
even
two
the night
girls that
before,
dated
she
her.
texts him too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, no, she hasn't dated Juwon yet, right? Oh, Juwon has
No,
not
but they've
dated
like
Yujung yet.
theoretically talked about
They
going on
have
a
talked
date.
about it. So she is texting him. But it's
Yeah.
also like I mean the text reference she says, "Where should we go on our date?" Juwon was also the first person to ask her, so maybe that's was he? I don't know if he was actually. I don't know. I don't know. I forget the timing of these texts and who asked her out first and I don't know. Maybe she likes Juwon the best. I don't know.
I think he did reference like Juwon referenced asking her out to like lunch first,
Okay.
but didn't actually set any time or date or whatever. And so then it was Dongjin, and then it was Kwon.
And we think
Asked her out last.
she texted Quante on the first day, right? Because we're saying that Dahye texted Dongjin, so the other three
Yes.
girls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yujung's story with Dongjin is like I feel like she's like she wasn't that into him, and then the donut date thing happened, and she was like a little interested, but also she wasn't super like oh he went out of his way to ask me out on a date. It was like oh we were
Yeah,
just
she was just the only one
convenient.
in the house. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a little bit of like she's talking her like trying to come up with reasons not to date people in a way that I'm also thinking like once her ex gets here, like she might be another person who's
Yeah, yeah.
might actually be thinking about their ex.
That might be true. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then Hui Hyun, he's noticing the Hyewon and Kwante stuff. So they're both like,
Yeah.
Hyewon and Hui Hyun are both noticing each other and getting jealous.
Mm-hmm.
But they've like swapped at the start. Like Hui Hyun was texting her, but she didn't text him. But then they swap in the middle here. Yeah, and then the Seokhyun K-pop stuff we talked about. Hyewon sees them talking about the K-pop stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then she goes to her room to be sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's this scene with Hui Hyun and Dongjin when they were talking outside. They were the one that were like taking up the spot so that the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that Juwon and Seokhyun couldn't sit, so they had to go into the shadows. But Hui Hyun and Dongjin were talking, and they tell each other that they received no text on night 3.
But they both just got texts from their exes.
They both got one text, but it was like from their ex. But it's like
they're like commiserating over not getting texts from the girls they took out on dates that day.
But are they like intentionally not telling the truth, or do they just feel like getting a text from their ex, it doesn't count?
I think for Dongjin it doesn't count.
For sure, yeah. But is I'm
Hui
confused.
Hyun's, I think in this moment, Hui Hyun's more upset about just not getting a text from the girl he went on a date with today. And so just the fact that he did not get that text means that he got no text.
That is
him,
bad.
You know, like that's the one he wanted.
It is not a good sign if you go on a date and you don't get a text. Because some people just give like, oh, we went on a date text. And they're not even getting that. I don't know. It's just like a little weird with Hui Hyun. You know what I'm really not buying with Hui Hyun?
What?
I'm just, this whole I broke up with you because I was like ashamed of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I was thinking about it. It's just like, it's not, I'm not buying it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
It's just, I don't understand this guy. I'm skeptical of what his motivations are. It's weird.
I could understand that perspective. I think you talk about it before you break up with someone over it, but like, I could see a young, not so like emotionally intelligent guy feeling bad about himself and then breaking up with his girlfriend over it.
That's crazy. You know what?
It's not a good move.
Really, you know what? Everything about my life sucks. I like accept this girl I'm dating. I should just break up with this girl.
Except like,
what?
He manages to make himself feel bad over the girl, you know? Like he feels he's not doing enough for her.
It's
weird. Failing.
It's like, it's a good sell when you're like trying to explain yourself but you don't want to say the real thing.
Okay.
It is a good
That's a possibility.
Sell. It's like, no, I broke up with you for you. Don't you see? Can't you see why I broke up with you? Because I did it for you.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah.
But I could see it happening.
I am ready to cut the string on Hui Hyun. I'm so close. I just like I emotionally want to, but I don't have the factual evidence yet. I don't have the evidence yet to convict him, but I want to.
Okay. If I was Haewon, I would not. I would be mad at him forever. I would never get back with him. I'd be like, you lied to me and made me feel like shit when you broke up with me. No, thank you. I will not be returning to this.
Yeah. Also, like we can't live in a. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to have like a confident relationship with someone where it's like, oh, if they ever get depressed, they might just break up with me, even though I do everything right and I support them and I don't complain and I'm happy with them. But if they start feeling bad about themselves, then our relationship's over. Like, I don't know. It's not.
Well, on one hand,
confident building.
He is still in school. He is pretty young. His brain is not finished baking. I would hope that in a couple years he will become more emotionally intelligent, but right now I don't think it's time to revisit that.
It's only been what, like a year?
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah, they didn't finish cooking in the last year. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to talk about it. I was thinking about it. So
Okay.
um,
Oh, when they are in the talking room and everybody is in on Yujung, um, where Dongjin went, oh, better get my shit in gear. We have a confessional with Hui Hyun who's like, I like her, but I still do want to get back with my ex, and there's a lot of competition. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do this. Like he sounds like he's backing off of
oh yeah, he did
focusing
do that,
on Yujin, which is I don't know. It was kind of funny to me. I feel like you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely people with that mentality. He must not have been like crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like if she was the only girl he liked on the show, I don't think he would stop.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but he's like, I have other options. These two buff guys gonna be tough to beat. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like kind of fair, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make me want to root for him, but
Oh no,
yeah,
no.
it's like almost admitting that he's like inferior in a way. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if anybody's gonna think he's
Yeah, that makes it
superior,
okay.
it's him. Like,
oh, no,
of course,
he's being consistent. Okay, I got to give him that. Okay, maybe he's legit. I was too
That's
too
all
harsh.
it took. 2 points of data that line up. Okay,
He truly does think he's an inferior man. It's the truth. Okay.
Okay.
And now I kind of hope that he was lying.
But then
he was lying. But then I would feel good about the fact that he's actually does feel better about himself. But I would not like that he lied. Ooh, it's tough. See, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to keep.
It's gonna
his
be tough to
string
like this guy.
not
Yeah,
cut.
I don't know.
It's gonna be real tough not to for his string to last this whole season. We have one more day left, and the more people they add on the show, the longer the podcast is gonna get. I was thinking, like if we did the same format with like season 2, I feel like in the middle of the season, our updates on people would just be like, their storyline is still going. The last 3 episodes, it's the same. It's the same.
They are still fighting.
We could do like 5 minutes per person, if that.
Yeah.
But so far, there's some fun stuff to talk about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are at the final date, which was not the final date in the show, but it's our final date on this podcast.
It is the date that's kind of a bummer.
I guess.
They're both sad. And they're at a place that makes him a little sad. I mean, it went well, but I think they both know that they're both sad is the problem.
I guess. I thought it went pretty well. And Dongjin, like, seemed like he was excited to date Hyewan.
Yeah.
And he probably was. But I think ultimately we find out, like, okay, he dates Hyewan and he's still thinking about Yujong. That's actually a big narrative. It's like, I dated this other girl, but I was thinking about Yujong afterwards. So the hosts were dead right about all the guys being into Yujong, actually.
Yeah.
They don't lie to us about those comments from the hosts. The hosts know who's going to like who.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know who exes are. All right.
That's true.
So Dongjin and Hyewan. Dongjin was very excited for this date.
He changed a bunch of times before deciding on his date outfit, which was cute.
They go to a beach date
mm-hmm.
in the fall. Not ideal, but hey, that's where Dongjin's ex and him have a memory.
I don't know. It didn't look that cold or anything. It looked like they were still having a good time. It wasn't like chilly or
and
whatever.
They're wearing long pants and not putting their feet in the water. But okay.
Okay.
Wasn't the most exciting beach date I've ever seen.
Okay, fair.
Dongjin does not give us an estimate of the last time he had a date, but we have to assume it was at least 15. I mean, it was at least 13 years. And he says, I literally could not tell you. Maybe he never did.
Yeah. And maybe he just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Like, he's only ever dated the one woman. Yeah.
Hyewan likes Dongjin because Dongjin thinks she looks so young. Whereas, like, I think, like, Huihyun the other night was like, you look like you're, like, 29.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she was
Go fuck yourself, dude. Yeah.
Is that, like, can we confirm that she's younger than 29 based on that?
I feel like, or
do women, like, even if you're older than 29, you still want people to think you're less than 29?
I mean, that might be true, but I think, like, the way she responded to it feels more like she's not 29 yet.
I would be totally surprised if we find out. Like, we could find out she is 29, but she was still didn't want to be told that she was 29 or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I actually can't tell. I don't know what I would have guessed. Like, Oh, wait, we know she's Hui wants or Hui Hyun's age, right? So it's probably like
she's a little older than
oh,
him.
she's older.
Just
So
a
what's
little
she
bit.
like? Probably
Like
25.
25, 26, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This was actually pretty funny because when Dongjin says this, I was like, oh, I can see that because he was like, you seem like you'd be the school president or like vice president or something. And she's like, oh, really? I do. And then eventually, he finally caved, and she's like, okay, I was the vice president of my school. I still would never have said it, but when Dongjin said it, I was like, yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're cute together.
Yeah, he definitely like makes her laugh a lot, and they seem like they're having a good time.
I guess it's like a sadder date. I don't know. I didn't think the date was that bad, but I guess I was like taking it in the context of like, of course, it's going to be a little sad.
I think the problem is that she talked to his ex and knows that there were sad memories here.
Oh, okay.
And I think she's carrying that into it. And then also, I rarely on the show has she ever looked like she's having a good time. She does look like she's having a good time here, but generally the vibe with her has been so far just not having a good time, you know?
Yeah. Because she's texting Hui Hyun, but whenever Hui Hyun like talks to her, she doesn't seem happy about it.
Yeah. And like even Dongjin seems a little just like he's putting effort in here, but there's also just this little bit of sadness that just can't help but come out, you know, like because and maybe it's just because she's looking for it, but she comments on it at least in a confessional. So I don't know. It's just a little bit of a sadness to the date.
Yeah, Dongjin is like a bit like awkwardly formal, but I guess I have to give him a pass because he's like hasn't dated anybody else in his life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Dongjin's also like a little bit weird. He's not like the like in your face kind of like flirty that Kwante is.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the opposite of that, where he's
got a subtle flirt
seems
to
like,
him. Yeah.
Yeah, but also like extremely passive, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like overly passive. Yeah.
He just like get the door for her.
There were like some funny things that happened. Maybe that's what it was.
Like he forgets his wallet
he
because
forgets
he
his
changed his clothes so many times.
But he does it twice, right?
Well, I mean,
doesn't he do it
no,
twice?
he left his wallet at home, so like.
I thought he left it in the car.
No, I think he ran to the car to look
for it. He thought it might
it.
be in the car. Oh,
yeah.
I thought he left it in the car, and then she paid for the food, and then he was like all embarrassed, and she was like, "Don't worry about it. You can buy me on the next date." Or what? Like, no, she said the right thing, and then they go to like this like gun shooting arcade game thing. And then I thought he forgot his wallet in the car again.
Oh no, it's just the hosts are like, wait, what are you doing? You don't have any money. You can't pay for this.
Okay. I thought he just forgot it in the car again though. Okay. Oh, see, it wasn't as funny as I thought it was. Oh, there's a funny moment where because he was in the military, right? And it seems like he had a lot of training with these rifles or guns or whatever. And
he was going to show her how to shoot it, but the old woman who worked there like totally cut him off and was like, "Let me instruct you, young lady, on how to shoot this gun." It was so good.
Yeah, the old lady like probably has to teach people all the time, and was like, "So have you shot a gun like this before?" And then Hyeon's like, "No, I haven't." He's like, "Okay, let me show you." And Dongjin's like, "No." I was gonna do the whole thing where I like get behind her and hold her hand. No. Okay.
But he does have a very impressive showing at the thing, and he wins her a stuffed animal. So, like,
yeah, he literally doesn't.
There you
miss.
go.
I mean, it weirdly like didn't look hard.
I don't shoot things. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't shoot things either, but it was like very close. I mean, they're shooting like pellets out of the gun looks real, but it's like it must be accurate, but it's not. There's not gunpowder in these things, right? It's like they're not using explosives.
Yeah, it's like an air rifle or something,
yeah,
right?
Or something, but it does look like a real gun. But they must be pretty accurate because, yeah, I mean, it was so close. It was just like, as long as the gun is calibrated right, like I don't see why this would be hard. But
I don't know.
I mean, he was better at it than her though, so there must be some skill. Yeah. Oh, she on this date though is going to reference because she knows that Dahye went on a run with Kwante in the morning. So she's gonna break the news to him unintentionally.
But like, is it unintentionally? Because we also see in a confessional that she guesses that his ex is Jahe. So like, was she just trying to see his reaction to confirm her guess, or maybe he had a reaction to this that is the reason she guessed that? or I don't know.
She doesn't know that Dahye would want it to be a secret, though, right? We don't have any evidence of that. So.
Well, yeah, we don't know that. I just don't I don't know enough information to know her motivation for telling him this, you know?
I thought it was just like casual talking about the people that we're living with.
It might have been.
Yeah. I mean, actually, like, this is something that Dongjin would like want to hear in reality based on what he's telling us so far. Now he's still getting the text.
Like,
he's still getting the text,
theory.
so he wishes he wasn't getting the text. But like, yeah, at least Dahye's doing something. That's a good news.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Dahye yet?
Yeah.
We
did. Was during our first date. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I think
Did you have more to add to it?
I said I liked her. Yeah. There was a scene with Dahye where something happened, and I'm forgetting what it was, but it was like, if this was the first 3 episodes, she would have like ran alone and she would have cried. Oh, it was. Oh, I know why we didn't talk about it. It was right before Quante came and talked to her at the end, like towards the end of episode 6. And I don't know. I felt like there was a little bit of growth where, like, okay, she saw something. Oh, she overheard Dongjin asking out.
Yujong. That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there was any intentionalness to Dongjin doing that? No,
okay. I don't think so.
They were like playing. Daehyun was like playing a dice game on the floor, and then Dongjin was like sitting at the table, but they were like close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has a reaction to it, and she like gets up and she leaves, but she did not cry.
She did not. She just went and sat by herself to take a moment.
She said it annoyed her, but she didn't cry.
Yeah, she was more like annoyed than sad this time, but yeah.
I'm feeling this progress. I am liking it.
Yeah.
I'm so worried it's going to go backwards. But
okay.
Hey, it's going the way I want it to go so far. All right.
Okay.
Anything else with Dongjin?
I do want her to feel better. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The thing about learning about the run with Quante and Dahye though is that like it was the day after, so it was like day 3. At the end of night 2 is when Quante like made a point to tell the guys like just so you guys know, I don't care who your ex is, I'm going for the person I like. And then the very next morning he goes on a run with Dahye.
Oh, right.
So from Dongjin's perspective, if he was going to be jealous, he would be mad jealous, I think.
Yeah.
That he'd be like, oh, this is serious. Quante really likes her.
But like, okay, so when Dongjin's in the talking room, right? He's trying to find out if anybody is interested in her, and it doesn't seem like people really are, and then he is sad about it. Like, I feel like so much of his time on this show is spent trying, like, worrying about her. You know, like he is trying to like date and whatever, but he spends so much of his energy just like worrying that she is having an okay time.
Yeah. Well, but are you saying that because
I'm just saying he's a sweet man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I just think he's a nice guy.
Okay, I thought you were saying it because you think the narrative won't flip because he seems very committed to that, or
I don't know.
Yeah, wait till we get the X rooms. Oh my god.
Okay. I just think he's nice. I just wish they could be happy.
I mean, he seems like he seems nice. I mean, like he's a bit awkward or formal, like, but whatever. But I'm buying that he cares about her. Like a lot of people say, like, oh, I want my ex to find somebody nice. Like, I think he's legit in this moment.
Yeah,
believes
that and wants that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still not getting texts from anybody else. We still haven't done the X rooms yet, so I'm very worried. Because if it comes to the point in the show where you're just like, well, nobody else is texting me, might as well do something. All right.
I hope they have a good chat about why things ended and how they can fix things going forward before they get back together. Then I will be happy.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll see.
Instead of just we got back together, let's not talk about anything that's wrong. It's fine now.
Okay.
I mean, it's also none of my business if they talk about that, but you know what I mean. I want them to be happy. It would be nice if they were together and in a healthy relationship, you know?
Or not together in a healthy relationship. Or not together and not in a relationship. Also great.
That's true. Just happy would be nice.
Okay. Oh, he does say, this is the one thing, he says he is annoyed about hearing about the Quante thing, but it's only because he like never went on a run. I think it sounded like he just never went on a run with Dahye in 13 years. And then Quante like did it with her.
Yeah.
So he felt a certain way about that.
It would make sense to me if he would feel a certain way about her like going on dates very openly and publicly. Like, I could see how that could be annoying. Like, he spent so much time, they had to hide everything. That, yeah,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
annoy me too.
Yeah. So he would like that. Oh, she wanted it to be a secret. That's how she dates people. That's consistent. She would like
I don't know.
that.
He
All right.
probably wants her to be able to date someone openly, but like it could still be despite
Yeah.
himself, he feels kind of bitter about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people having emotional things come up when they see their ex, right? Like if I go to a place that I have a memory with my ex at, like I'm gonna think about my ex, you know? It's like it's whatever. But yeah, I like how they do a lot of scenes. There were a lot of scenes we could talk about this. Like there were a lot of scenes where Dongjin is hanging out with a group of people. Then Dahye comes, and then within minutes, like
he leaves.
Dongjin gets up and leaves, and
Yeah.
we're getting that over and over and over and over again. But then there's like finally a scene where they like we haven't seen them talk to each other at all. There's finally a scene where like they both are like going to the kitchen for something, and then she just makes an off comment like, "Oh, is this the drink that I was supposed to get or something?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that'll work." But then they're just like both in the kitchen, awkwardly not talking.
Yeah.
And I kind of respect it from both of their sides. Like if he's not interested in getting back with her, like she should know. And
yeah,
it like kind of sucks to watch it like this, but it's being very clear. And I think it's helping her realize it way faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Than if he was just like nice and friendly with her and it made it feel like there was still something.
Right.
And then I love, or I really appreciate that she is feeling all these feelings, like I said, and she's not pushing him to like interact with her, because she know, like he knows, and she knows that he knows from the text that she is interested. Like you don't text him 4 times in a row or whatever it was. Yeah, so she knows that he knows. So and she's not pushing it any further than that. I think it's the most appropriate way to go about it if you're in this situation on the show. I think it is the best.
They're definitely handling it the best of anybody we've seen, you know.
But like we talked about in the beginning, maybe you want to call somebody out for, hey, you shouldn't be on the show at all, regardless if you're not interested in your ex. But I'm kind of all right with it if this is the dynamic we get. I think this is the appropriate dynamic.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it kind of sucks to watch, and people, especially with their story, a lot of people are probably rooting for them to get back together.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if this is the dynamic, like they'll leave the show healthier as people, I think.
Yeah.
When they're done.
I love the representation of adults handling their shit, you know? And
for now at least.
For now, yeah.
I reserve the right.
6 episodes.
I reserve the right to change my mind and cut their strings at any moment. But all right. Anything else? Dongjin? Anybody?
Hye-won.
Oh, we didn't do
Have not talked about Hye-won.
Oh my God, how many notes do I have on Hye-won?
Not a lot. I think we talked about her stuff already.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
There we go. All right, let's talk about
it. You got a lot?
I might wait. Hopefully, we already talked about it.
Yeah, like she's sad because you know her ex is a dummy.
Stop texting her.
Well, yeah, and you know after on the intro, you know, meeting together, telling her like he was still into her and whatever, like, and is now showing interest in other people, maybe giving her some mixed signals about stuff. You know, she's having a rough time.
I was not feeling Hye-won once again, actually, in this. Now I'm looking at my notes. She pulls this move where like Hui-hyun is like, looks like he's having a good time, he feels happy, but then like she goes up to them when they're alone and she's like, you look happy about something. Could it be your date tomorrow with not me, possibly?
Yeah, that was a little awkward, yeah.
So this whole idea that like, oh, she wants him to be happy, which is like something she said before. Like literally he's happy and you're like questioning him.
Yeah. You're trying to make him feel shitty about feeling happy. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a weird thing where like he makes her a drink, but then he goes to bed. I did think that was weird, but it could have just been a lack of communication as to what was happening, and I don't know.
I think 100% of their shit is a lack of communication.
Again, like a day ago, Hui-hyun supposedly wanted to get back together with Hye-won, and he texted her. And now she is talking to him. Now I guess I get that, like, hey, I like that you're talking to me, but I don't like what you're talking to me about. But like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that he didn't. Maybe he was
Yeah.
annoyed with her. Maybe that's fair. He was just annoyed with her in that moment. I don't know. But he basically like, she's like trying to stay up with him and drink together, and he's like, nah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is where I guess I was feeling weird about Hui Hyun from this a little bit. This is where actually I have my notes like, I don't know about this breakup excuse that he gave, but I guess it's fair to be offended by this line of questioning. Like, what are you so happy about?
Okay.
Kind of stuff. I guess that's kind of fair. All right. But yeah, she's bummed she's not getting text anymore from Hui Hyun until the last day, right? Because they, in the truth game, they're gonna say, "I want to get back to my ex," and then they both text
they
each
both
other.
did say that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Or it was they didn't text each other, then the truth game, then the last night. I think they both text each other. Has that happened? It definitely didn't happen this early where two exes text each other. Did it last season?
I don't know anymore.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, it definitely happened later. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's more rare than you would think. I feel like.
But yeah, they do have like a cute little moment where he is studying for a midterm or whatever, and she sits down with him and they're alone and they can actually like talk a little bit like real people for a second.
Be themselves, yeah.
And they seem to enjoy their time together then, you know, it was cute to you ignore all the mess around everything.
There's also a scene where she's like getting cereal in the morning and she's like making a bowl for her and Quante. But then Hui Hyun comes by and she quickly like drops the second bowl and acts like she wasn't getting a bowl for Quante. But then she's like, "Hey, do you want breakfast?"
She also like offers him, yeah.
And he's like, "No." And then she was
Did
like,
he even
really
say no? I thought he just like ignores her completely. I thought
he said no, but it was like the same thing as ignoring her in her mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
But then he just like sees her eating breakfast with Quante later anyway. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. They keep having these disjointed moments of seeing each other with other people and getting annoyed. And it's not a great dynamic.
Her mentality is a little bit of like, I can't believe he like confessed his feelings for me like at the beginning of the show and he's already like getting along with other women. Also is like kind of her mentality. Which I guess is like, I don't know, is that fair? I don't know. Is that
I think if somebody said to me, well, I never stopped loving you, and it was kind of bullshit that I broke up with you, so we're on this show about where exes might get back together again. If he immediately is like, ooh, there's a new shiny girl, let me go talk, like, yeah, I would feel some sort of way about that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Especially since that excuse is just so stupid. The breakup excuse is so stupid. All right. I'm fine with that.
Especially like the thing he told her instead when he did break up with her, which was like, I don't think I've ever known what love is like,
also,
oh, okay. Yeah, like it's just not. Yeah, I would not be feeling anything good.
Yeah. But why is she texting this guy? I don't get it. This whole thing is I'm kind of out on both of them.
Okay.
I'm not like, oh, these are terrible people, but like, it's just like, I'm not rooting for
not
them to
a
get back
story you want
together.
to follow.
Yeah. Like, I'm not rooting for them to be together, but it feels like they definitely will be. I don't know.
Yeah. Same. Like I get why she might be waffling about feeling things about him, but I wish she didn't because it's a mess.
Part of her narrative is also like, okay, now that he's annoying me, I like him now, which is also not a narrative I like at all.
Oh, yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. Like it might have been after the no thing. I don't know. There were like scenes where she was like getting annoyed with him and then like that follows up by like her saying, I'm starting to think I like him again. Or, like, I don't know. It's similar to the Seokyeon stuff where it's like, I don't like it. I don't like the order in which things are being presented, even though they might have not happened in that order. She also likes that when she finds out that Hui Hyun did not get any text on day 3 in the talking room. She was pleased about that.
Oh yeah.
Wants him to be happy, but get no text. It's good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I think at the talking room was when she was like, I've decided to go for Hui Hyun. So she seems pretty all in.
Oh yeah. She's like, I found out there's no real like interest in him. Should be easy enough to get him back.
Yeah. Wait, we need to throw in some more guys here. We can get Hyewan off of him if there's a nice guy that comes in. What do we think?
You think?
I think so. Yeah. Why
Okay.
not?
I don't know. She seems a little dead set in that direction now.
She like flirted with Quante, so it seemed like she was ready to do some stuff. But then she never got a text from him, right? So then I feel like she's just kind of like relapsing a little bit.
Oh, just like because there's a lack of interest
Yeah, like she's not
on
that
either
interested.
her end or all the
Yeah.
other guys' end. Yeah.
And then maybe there was some interest in Dongjin, but then yeah, she got off the whole the X chat room kind of threw her off, and she wasn't
Yeah,
in
yeah.
on it anymore. Like there we go, these rooms are ruining things again. Okay.
Well, I think also like she did figure out that she thinks Dahye is his ex, and it seems like she and Dahye got close really fast.
Oh
Like
yeah.
even though they're not roommates. So I think
Yeah.
like that also might kill it for her with Dongjin.
Yeah. She doesn't have that Quante mentality.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna go for it. Yeah. I don't know. I could see her. I could maybe I'm not fully cutting her string because I feel like there is some hope of it's just the lack of other options that is the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not an exciting narrative right now for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
All
I
right.
get
Yeah. Unfortunately, we ended on that note, but
it.
maybe we'll think about the order in which we do people next time.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know,
we'll
this
try to
was
be a little bit
fun.
more organized next time.
This was fun. I just wanted to get all the stuff out of the way and then talk about the dates leading into the things. And I
don't know. Did it feel a little disjointed? It might have been a little confusing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let
we'll
us
find
know
out. People let us
if
know.
it worked out.
Yeah. I like the new way of doing it because it doesn't. I mean, we're at like what 3 hours and 40 minutes. We're at like 3 hours and 40 minutes right now, which is I think it's about on par with the last ones. I mean, it's way better than last season where we were going episode by episode, and then like each podcast was like 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing better. So the format didn't totally fail in terms of that. In terms of saying everything that needed to be said faster. But it did take us a while to get to the dates. And we could have gotten to them faster if we went chronologically.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sarah, you will choose the order of everything next time.
No.
And then people can tell us which podcast was better.
Damn.
It's going to be this one, though, because I was like, well, if there's a negative...
you had a good time this time.
Yeah, but if there's some negative turn of events and I get sour on the next podcast...
I cannot be held responsible for your bad mood.
Then this podcast is going to sound a lot better.
Okay.
I feel like I was pretty high on the enjoyment level of these 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying next time you might be grumpy, and then it's not my
That's
fault
what I'm
if this
saying.
one was better, you know?
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Any other things we're looking forward to? You think there might be X rooms?
I think there might be X rooms. I'm not looking forward to that, but I think it might be there. I am still enjoying it. Still on board.
You think we're getting the Quante and
Songjong
X reveal in episode 7? That's your prediction?
Yes.
What would have to happen for that not to be true?
I mean,
if they have to reveal an X, if they have to reveal an X in episode 7,
then we'd have to real quick, like at the beginning of it, get a dude
in there, and that dude is
Songjong's X.
I
don't know.
Or Yoojong's X. I don't know.
Or I don't know.
Or they just don't reveal another X.
Yoojong's other X or something.
They just let us marinate in the lies and deception for even longer until it's more convenient.
Maybe. We'll see.
Alrighty. Next time, we'll be talking about Transit Love 3 episodes 7 through 9.
Yeah. We're getting through this. Dang.
And it's going to be a Sarah-driven podcast, so everybody get excited.
Hey, I don't know that I agreed to that. All right. At least my notes will line up with the order we talk about shit.
It doesn't line up for me either. We didn't talk about it in my note order. I just,
went all over.
I just wanted to get the business out of the way so we could get to the good stuff, but then it took a long time to get to the good stuff. The talking room, it happened. Let's talk about it. We found out people's jobs. Let's talk about it. And then let's go. But that took longer than I thought it was going to take.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
God damn, these episodes are long, though. Gosh. It's like a movie, which means if you're watching 3 episodes, it's like watching a trilogy.
Yep.
And you have to really pay attention so you can podcast about it.
Yep.
God damn.
This is
each episode was over 2
ourselves.
hours. It's crazy.
Yeah. But hey, It's been better than last season so far.
What network has nothing better to show than the longest transit love episodes ever? Maybe this is their number one show, and it's like, hey,
Might be.
the longer the better.
I don't know.
That's what they just did with Survivor. There was like, you get 90 minutes now because there was a writer's strike, but now the writer's strike's over. 90 minutes is looking good still. Let's keep it going. All right. Where can people contact us, Sarah?
People can email us at keepwatchingpod@gmail.com, tweet at us at keepwatchingpod, Instagram at us at keepwatchingpod, leave a comment under this video on YouTube also at keepwatchingpod. And if you enjoyed seeing some muscular bros in aprons like cutting their meat from behind, you can leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
The powerful.
Oh yes, powerfully cutting the meat. Yes.
Yeah, they look powerful from behind as they cut the meat, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quite the scene.
All right. I'm sure our usual suspects will let us know what they thought about our podcasting strategy this time.
Yeah, definitely.
We're just trying to change the game out here. Revolutionize.
Yeah.
Recaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're
Recap.
absolutely on the forefront of that field. Yep.
If we just put a timestamp like where we started talking about the dates, I mean, personally, I don't think the other stuff was that interesting, which is why I wanted to talk about it first.
Okay. Well,
but
you tend to be responsible for
I
the
think you're right.
timestamps, so go ahead and do that.
We'll do it a brand new way next time.
I think I got a strat that might work. We'll see.
Yeah, I was thinking we start with the end and work our way to the beginning.
That is not my strat.
Okay. Reverse engineer the entire TV show. Oh, you have an idea. I'm excited now.
I have an idea.
Sarah's gonna be doing things next episode.
We'll see.
Watch out.
I might forget about it.
You're excited.
We'll
All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm really excited for the next podcast. If you're actually gonna drive, that's very exciting.
I didn't say I was going to drive. I said I was going to come up with a format.
You just could tell me how to drive. You're a backseat driver.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God.
Hey, if I drive, you might fall in love with me. That's how these things work.
No,
you're not allowed to let the woman drive.
Clearly, you've been impressed with my driving on all these podcasts, which is why you're intimidated.
It's just easier to, chill in the back seat and yell at you occasionally.
All right. All right. We good?
We good.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.